Okay, I think I've got everything started. Don't need to do a promo or anything like that. It's just an open topic. All right. Let's see. Whippalela 87 Einar Kusk. I do not. So let me see. Einar Kusk. I'm gonna do that. Thank you, Whippia. Sorry. It's not streaming on anything else, just on D-Live right now. And I'm going to go live on the other ones in just a second here. You know, I need a haircut and probably work out a little bit more. It's kind of hard to work out during the cold, brutal winters. It's very hard. Okay. And I got to make sure I'm watching my own. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got to watch my own video on D-Live just so I can see chat. Okay. I am live. I'm alive. Okay. Here we go. So this is open topic. Anything goes, anything you want to talk about. Like it says right here, right there. Oops, messed that up. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that stuff, all the stuff, and go ahead and do a live chat. So Nathan Fowler, I will check it out, Math Powerland, and although it's funny, every time, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the desktop real quick. So I did Math Powerland, and it's like, AK Matt Boyland exposed. I don't know what that means. Let me get Christian in. Hi Christian, how's it going? Holy smokes, that's a different room, different area. I've never seen that. Nice to see you again. All right, so Math Powerland. Every time I take a look at these types of things, and I always question it. Is like,
what was that? I didn't hear the first part.
Oh, Nathan Fowler is just saying that I should check out Math Powerland. I am. I'll check it out. But then you've got these certain people.
And Marin, and just to show you what I go through after I put up a video on YouTube. Oops. First they say.
Anyways, I'll check it out, make up my own mind. And someone on D-Live mentioned Einar Kusk. I never heard of Einar Kusk. Definitely.
Colorful name.
It says he's from Curacao, Estonia.
Ah, okay.
He's got a lot of things. Anyways, I am gonna check out him as well. I don't know what stuff he does stuff on, but we'll see.
Cool.
Okay, let's take it to the chat. Hey Shirley, how's it going? Okay, Shirley. He does not like Mark Sargent or Patricia Steer. Pontate Man 75, hello, how's it going?
The Philly Queen. Shirley's house.
Yeah, Shirley, you should get in here. She's been waiting for this a long time. What? At any rate, yeah, the thing is, the whole truther thing with the flat earth, I didn't get into it. I'm not even part of the community, I don't think, but I did get to interview Mark Sargent, and I will give Mark Sargent great credit that he'll talk to anybody. And so I think that's the same premise that I kind of have. I'll talk to anybody that want to talk about stuff and not just troll, and have a either debate or conversation, whatever it is. And the thing is, the elitists, the elite, the people who run things, etc., they won't ever allow that. You're not ready, you're not up to their level, whatever it is. And so that's why I think Mark Sargent is good. I don't think he's controlled opposition. He just keeps talking about the stuff he talks about. He has his own. He may have his own beliefs and things like that, but he leaves it at that. He just focuses on Earth is flat, and here's how you here's evidence for it. Here's how you debunk globe Earth, and how they always lie, etc. I don't know what happened with him, Patricia Steer, and all the others in the flat Earth truther community, because I missed that. I was never. Hold on. I'm gonna move it out to show. Okay, I'm gonna blanket everything out just so I could invite someone in. Is that you, Shirley? Who's 215? Are you in?
You might have to unmute them.
He's not muted. Or she.
Hello.
Oh, it's Shirley.
Hello.
All right.
Hey, Christian.
So the reason I do that is people who call in, their phone number shows on Zoom, so I don't want to expose people's numbers. So I blank out the Zoom. How's it going, Shirley? It's great to hear you, if not see you.
It's going great. I'm getting ready for the clown show for 2020.
Are you ready for the finally Hillary Clinton is president 2020?
I don't think she's going to run. She's rooting for Kamala Harris.
No, that's the thing. They already know. Twice she's ran, twice she's lost. That every time she starts to run, her ratings keep getting lower. So the less amount of time that she runs, the higher her favorability is. So she's not going to say she's running until very late.
But you can't win the electoral with the popular vote.
Oh, they're going to cheat their way through. They already know they could get away with it.
Yeah, we don't have WikiLeaks no more right now.
Well, we still have WikiLeaks, but not Julian Assange.
Yeah, not Julian.
Yeah.
So it's going to be different. And I'm telling you, the closer we get to 2020, you guys are going to say, Ebon was right. Hillary Clinton's running. And she's winning. She won. What? It was foul play? Yeah, it will be.
I could totally envision a scenario where she comes in and just piggybacks off of Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is passes the baton, oh, I'm stepping out, but here's Hillary Clinton.
Oh, Kamala Harris and Cory Booker are shills. They can't even speak on a black agenda.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Y'all did things for the LGBT community, for immigrants. Every time blacks talk about what are you going to do about American descendants of slaves, they be like, oh, no, we can't talk about that now. We've been doing that for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, decades. But Kamala and Cory was on both the Breakfast Club, and they're not answering no real questions. They're not asking real questions at all.
Did they pull the Hillary Clinton and they bring hot sauce in their bags or whatnot?
Oh, Kamala today said, oh, I smoke weed. I'm like, there you go, pandering, trying to pander to the black community. All black people don't smoke weed. You know?
And
she has a horrible record as Attorney General. Horrible.
Yeah, she's locked a lot of people up.
Yes, she did. And also, she slept away, too, to get where she's at.
I heard something about that. I think Kyle Kalinske did a video on that.
Yeah, she slept with Willie Brown. He did an op-ed and admitted it.
Yeah.
And he was married, but he was separated. I guess him and his wife were Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in divorce. Like Michael Jackson, mother and father. They were separated, but they were still married. They can't divorce. She was 29 years old when she was sleeping with that man. He was in his 60s.
Hmm.
And she running around saying she's black, yet Jamaican and Indian.
Wow, that is an interesting mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least Obama was half Kenyan, or I guess some people would say full Kenyan.
Yeah, but he didn't grow up really in the black life either, because he went to school in Indonesia, was born in Hawaii, so and then he
What?
grew his white life in the Midwest.
He didn't grow up in the slums of Chicago?
No, hell no, he came over there when he was like a preteen or something, and you never. I listen to, what people are crazy about Trump, but you never see some of Trump old videos talking about Obama.
Oh,
he
yeah.
said, where this guy come from? And I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? Because Trump is a businessman. He knows everybody.
Yeah. Trump is
He didn't know
definitely
him.
a very interesting figure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just it's easy to peg him for something. I mean, he's just part of the same thing, but he's just a different beast. I mean, he still supports Israel
he's telling
crazily.
Wait, Shirley, what were you going to say?
Sorry, Shirley.
I say he's out telling the truth. He exposed both parties. He destroyed them. People are like, well, the Democrats, they not racist. I'm like, hell yeah, they are. On the WikiLeaks emails, Hillary mentioned don't accept anything. Go along with what the Latinos and the African Americans are saying. So they didn't care about nobody.
Yeah. But what do you think about Trump's crazy support for Israel?
That's crazy. Well, no, not just Trump. Congress.
Well, yeah, Congress, but Trump is definitely
Remember
on that.
Remember the day that new representative that was elected? I think she has a Muslim name.
Omar.
She called out the AIPAC and the lobbyists for AIPAC and was against them. And Nancy Pelosi and the other established Democrats called out. Lord, I hope she didn't apologize, but she did.
It wasn't just the Democrats; it was Republicans too. Everybody came down on her.
Yeah, everybody came out. And my thing is, McConnell trying to push that BDS bill in with that budget. He tried it 3 times.
Yeah, you know what? I'm probably different than a lot of people, but whenever the government shuts down, I'm actually glad. I mean, I'm not happy for the people who have government jobs to not have government jobs. I think if they shut down the government, they should shut down not the central government, like the military and a whole bunch of other stuff that just bring the troops back. Government shut down, no more war. They shut down all the wrong things. Like we need postal service, we need the national parks and stuff. Those pay for itself. If they go, hey, if you want to get into the national park, you just have to pay for it. I'm pretty sure that people would pay to go inside the national parks. And yet the government will shut that down.
No, that should make them have a yellow vest protest here. We should have a green protest, get money out of politics.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Well,
and it was like that in the 60s, but it's not like that no more.
Oh, Eric, I haven't seen Eric in a long time.
Oh, wow.
How's it going, Eric?
Hey, brother.
Seen all your gaming videos. I have seen those pop up.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing pretty good.
We're talking about your favorite people, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, and Cory Booker. I'm sure you're excited for 2020, Eric.
Oh, 2020. It's going to be... Oh, boy. It's going to be chaos.
A clown show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys hear both parties agreed on a budget? I don't think Trump want to sign it. Because he was in a rally in El Paso, Texas last night, rather.
Oh, yeah, but the recent rally. Oh yeah, he really yeah, he really hit hard in the mainstream media, the fake news media.
And Joanne Reed got into some heat because the last week and the weekend before last, she was talking about Yvette Carnell. I watch her because she talk about African American descendants of slaves, and they was calling us Russian bots. Boy, they went after her. MSNBC had to come back and apologize.
They should have just fucking kicked that bitch off already.
Yeah, I wish they would. And Al Sharpton.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow. They should kick them all off.
But did y'all see the skit Rachel did about when the polar vortex was here and she blamed Russia and China was affecting our weather? That shit was fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh, did you guys hear Hawaii? They had like 191-mile-per-hour winds, and there's a blanket of snow.
Didn't they get snow too in Maui?
Yeah, it snowed in Maui. I think that's the first time they ever got snow there. Because I mean, they do have like Mauna Kea. They have a mountain over on the Big Island, and it snows there because it's just high enough elevation. But like Maui, I mean that's something else.
Yeah, because the guy I listened to, Mike Rivero, he lives in Hawaii. Doing live shows on the radio, and he even mentioned it. I was like, wow. He said, yeah, we got these strong winds. This is making history. I don't think he's at Maui, though.
Yeah, it was Maui.
Yeah.
Also, I also quit all my other social medias except for video uploadings, since that's what I primarily do.
Yeah, I noticed that, Eric.
I was like, you know what? I just might as well just Gab. I don't need it right now. Same thing with Minds. Yeah. I'll wait until probably they get popular very later on.
I'm just glad you stop here every once in a while. I'm happy to see that.
Oh, did you guys hear? You know the Nigerian elections is ready to come up, and Bill Clinton was supposed to go meet with the two people that were running. So the Nigerian governor said, any outsiders come here trying to affect our election, they will leave here in body bags. Clinton canceled his trip quick.
That must be like, you know, a warning sign. Fuck globalism.
Yeah.
I'm just scared that they'll be sending people in through the back door to try to infect that country. I mean, there's probably people already there.
Yeah, because the Clinton Foundation has something out there in Nigeria. Because it's this white billionaire Nigerian. He was trying to come. He donated to that foundation. He was trying to come in the country, and he was denied. He's corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, government will act out of like the embassies over there, the consulates that they have. Look at people who garner intel about the current political climate. You know, what's going on. When's an opportune time to say do this, or tie this person's hand, tie that person's hand up, come in with, say, you know, a militia, or like all sorts of strategies that they employ to kind of just disrupt the economies of all these different countries that they have interest in.
Economy, everything. I mean, let's just look how good things are in like Venezuela.
Oh God, yeah, man.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
I know.
People don't know that I'm sarcastic.
And they talking about, oh, he's hurting his people. He's starving them. No, the U.S. is fucking starving them with them goddamn sanctions.
Blockading people from receiving food, medicine.
Yeah, and in Yemen, about, 10 million people?
Yep, they have a whole cholera outbreak. Like, I think it's the worst one they've had ever.
And the UN don't mean shit, because what they there for, and NATO.
Yeah. Tell me. And then you have across the pond, you have across the Atlantic in France, fucking the police shooting people and people's eyes coming out, people's
yeah, because the leader of the yellow vest, his eye got taken away. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just I think yesterday or 2 days ago, somebody lost their hand.
Well, I know one thing: they not stopping protesters. I give them props.
The French people have a long history of having this kind of like "fuck you" attitude. It's a different culture than over here.
Yeah,
like they have such a long history of like giving.
I mean, they're really pushing back on Macron. I mean, yeah, I could see why.
Yeah, because he was trying to pass a tax. They already paid $6 for gas, and he was trying to raise it up more. And it's not just that; it was other things. They tired of it. I don't know when the people in the U.S. going to get tired. Damn it! Especially people complaining about their income tax. They ain't getting back what they want. One guy said he normally gets $750. He owed the IRS $4,000, and he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, people just need to start opting out, and they'll have to come after people, but it's just gonna get out of hand. I mean, taxation without representation, that's what started the country, United States.
Yep.
And that's what's been going on since we've been born. And the entire premise of the whole United States Constitution was to limit federal government, not to intrude on people's rights. And our rights have been intruded on, by our own government, which the only formation of the government was to prevent that from happening. It's just crazy. And like usury, interest rates on loans and stuff, that was all illegal too. But it's not called that anymore. It's just called interest rate.
Yeah.
That's all people think about.
Yeah, Trump getting ready to deregulate payday lenders.
Oh my goodness. I think that's just going to cause more crime and ruckus, which of course it seems that's what they want. They want more crime. They want more people saying, "Hey, we need more police. We need more government programs. We need all this stuff." And it just keeps going where we relinquish more of our control, and they take away more. And why do we keep letting them take away stuff? Because we know they take it.
But see, the regular news, not talking about it, so a lot of people still watching it, and they being propagandized, so they don't know. Because they don't talk about things he passed, like the prison reform bill and other things, letting people out of prison. They don't talk about it. They don't. All they talk about childish stuff, tit for tat, what he says on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like, and also... it's like the mainstream media just wants to focus on Twitter. I mean, thank goodness I left Twitter. 1 month. I'm glad I fucking left.
Yeah, I check out Twitter, Facebook. They keep doing pop-ups. It's starting to get annoying. I think I may have to deactivate it. But I get to, if I want to interview someone, sometimes the only means to do it is to direct message them on Twitter. So that's
I like email better then.
Yeah, most people don't want to give out their email, even if they create a secondary account just for the public. They just use Twitter.
I created a second account.
I know. So you guys remind me of the old days of instant messenger, like an AOL.
Hey, Christian, I see you retweeted what I put out today about our mayor here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I heard about that a little bit.
You heard about him best friends with that big time union guy for the electrical union? He just got indicted a couple of weeks ago, and the city councilman, they are corrupt.
Yeah,
He
man.
pushed that when he was city council. When Nutter was mayor, he did not approve of the sugar tax because he said that would hurt poor people. And I'm like, well, what made him, since he became mayor, to help it get it passed? I tweeted him, you know, I told him, you need to repeal that tax because that was buying through corruption. That guy, Johnny Doc, he had too much power all through the city, through the counties. His brother is a Supreme Court justice on the courts, and he got kickbacks too. And they're investigating him.
Hey, just a quick question. Does anyone think that there's a person where power doesn't corrupt? I mean, do you guys think that term power corrupts? And Frank Herbert, he would say power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. I mean, do you think that's the case all the time, or do you think there are certain instances where power doesn't corrupt an individual?
I mean, they have power, but they do good. A lot of this guy head of the union, Johnny Doc, he's the head of 2 big unions, and he went and pushed the sugar tax for the Teamsters. They did a supposedly did a negative ad, but it was a different union that did it. And he knew the Teamsters were with the soda companies, and he knew they would lose like 100 jobs, which they did lay off people. And they pushed it through, and he used this councilman. He helped get elected. And he was on a higher position in city council. And he helped push it through. And they used the kids. And that's what's sad. Talking about for the kids. That wasn't for no kids. That was to cover Dr. ass. 10 years ago, he was investigated. And people can't believe he still was doing it.
Jeez.
That's just horrible.
Old habits.
Yeah. He
Think
even
of the children. Think of the children.
He even strong-armed Children's Hospital. Because they had got MRIs in for the hospital, and they used the company they got the MRIs from, their workers to install it. He went and strong-armed and had the councilman get license and inspection to shut it down because they were non-union workers. Oh, he was a bully.
I'm starting to think that a lot of the politicians out there that seem clean, they just haven't gotten caught yet. I mean,
right.
Remember the day, like I used to watch a lot of Jon Stewart, and I'm sure you guys have too. Remember how Jon Stewart was like saying, I'm so good friends with Anthony Weiner, and Anthony Weiner is this big, great, Democratic politician that's it's going to be big. Fighting the good fight, talking about all the things that needs to be talked about. And then the Anthony Weiner scandals kept happening.
Anthony Weiner.
Laptop. Yeah. The sticky situation of that laptop.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
All I can say is a city council is involved too because they got paid money from that union because they paid off people to push that sugar tax. And that sugar tax is horrible because our sales tax is already 8%. And you talking about another tax on top of it?
It's like now they want to push tax on games.
Oh, yeah, they trying to do that too now. Violent games. Put taxes on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, back to that bullshit again?
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Big Brother be watching you. You have nothing to do in people. You have no reason to be in people's lives. None. When they started with that smoking, that cigarette tax, that's when I said this is going to be the wrong thing to do because they're going to start trying to tax everything else. And that's what they're doing.
They're just looking for more excuses just to make money off of people like us already.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're fucking opportunists.
Yep. Yeah. And to answer your question, Ebon, I don't know. I think it varies from person to person. I think some people can handle a certain level of power and others cannot. But I think there's definitely a level where, like we alluded to, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I mean, Abraham Lincoln used to say, if you want to test a man's character, give him power.
Yeah. See what happens.
See what happens. See what they do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm all for, like, not any one person, institution, place, thing, whatever should have so much power. I think there should always be something of a balance. Like Thomas Jefferson used to say, we should have a revolution every 20 years to balance things out again.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think even if you are good and you can handle power in a good way, is that the thing is you share that power with so many other people, and that those, I mean, they control everything. They control the mainstream media news. They control the military. They control the banks. They control pretty much everything. They can make you look corrupt. I mean, you could be the
Obama legalized propaganda.
Yeah, I mean, you could be the best person on earth. They'll make you look like a pedophile, whatever, right? You know, someone who they'll just make you look like the worst person ever. I mean, they do that to a lot of whistleblowers, right? They do that to Julian Assange, even.
Assange, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so they do that to anyone. So anyone who goes in for good intentions, they're going to make them look horrible if they're not towing the line that they want you to tow, because it's all about perception. As far as the democratic, even though we're a democratic republic, everyone just calls it straight up democracy, but democracy is pretty much a public opinion. But yeah,
it's a republic. Yeah.
Since that 2016 election, so many Democrats have been busted for corruption. It's not funny.
It is funny, but it's not funny in a funny way.
Yeah, because like Shaka Fatah, he in prison now. I mean, he did good things. He had a core program where kids, low income kids, can get a $500 at least to a scholarship to go to college. And he did a lot of nice things, but he got greedy. It's greed. It's like a drug addiction. They addicted to money and they don't know when to stop. They're still from their mother, their brother, just like our former district attorney here in Philly. He in prison. He was adopted by his parents, and his mother was in a facility taken care of because she was elderly, and he was taking her money. And then try to say when they want him to go right to prison, he said, well, I want to stay after her. My mother, the judge said, fool, this is why you went here, because what you did to your mother. It's like an addiction, just like on drugs.
Yeah,
how much more money you need? And that Bezos, he going after that dude. And what's funny, the guy that owned the National Enquirer, and he's trying to go after him, but his sister, his mistress, that's her brother. And that's how they had them pictures.
Interesting.
And he needs to leave them know he can't stand Bezos and Trump, and he's best friends with Trump.
So is Bezos arguing that it was entrapment?
It was political. Trying to use politics. You just need to leave that mistress alone and get back with your wife, because if you don't, she will get half.
Yeah. Crazy time to be alive, guys.
It is.
A lot of people just
quite ever.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, Vaughn. What were you saying? And then Shirley, you were going to say something.
I mean, it seems to happen maybe every other generation. I mean, the 60s and the 70s, I'm pretty sure people thought those were crazy times.
Oh, yeah, they were. Because like Cynthia McKinney said, they almost won in the 60s. But they started nipping off the leaders. JFK, RFK, Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
MOK. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was just kind of a big lull in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And now here we go again.
Yeah, because back then you had Woodstock. Everybody, all races were together, smoking weed, listening to music, and they protest the Vietnam War. Yeah, and that too. But they were fighting in them streets, and it needs to get like that again. It really does. Cindy Sheehan, her march last year in October, there wasn't a large amount of people there. Anti-war march at the Pentagon.
I mean, I can, I don't know. I can see. I mean, that those movements were legitimate. I mean, there's a lot of, I've went down a lot of rabbit holes, conspiracy theories about like saying that they weren't fake, the deaths were, assassinations were faked, etc., etc. That's just pretty bad. I think that's controlled opposition in some ways, because they wouldn't have gotten assassinated, right? The movements now, they're funded by the opposing side of the same group, you know. Any movement that you have, Women's March or whatever, it's always going to be funded by someone big. It's never, unlike like the yellow vests that are happening and all this other stuff, they're not funded by these big name billionaire players. In America, all these movements are based off of someone
paid craftivism.
Yeah.
They get co-opted by the damn Democrats, because that's what Obama did with Occupy Wall Street. That was the biggest movement. And they co-opted that thing and killed that movement that was going on. They co-opt stuff. And a lot of groups now, that's why Cindy Sheehan said they co-opted hers in about early 2000s. And she had a big thing going on back then, but she said the Democrats came and co-opted, and it just fizzled out. But this time she did one, and she made sure nobody was going to co-opt it, but it wasn't as big.
It's hard, man. I mean, these leaders, like whenever they see like an uprising start to manifest itself, they're quick to squash it, man. Because if they don't, they feel like it's gonna just spread. It spreads like wildfire, man. You have like a revolution take place in one country, say France, and then 6 months, 12 months later, it happens in Russia, and then 3 months later, it happens in Italy. It happens, somewhere in South America. It's always like that. It's something about, I guess, the human psyche that when we see uprisings against power, like this resistance against power, we're inspired by that to such a degree where we go out in mass and do that as well. We emulate what we see from others in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, even back I don't know how much of so much of history has been rewritten and faked and whatnot, but at least the American Revolution, so many other countries saw it and supported it, and same thing with the United States. They saw uprisings against and people trying to form their own government from oppression, and the United States would support it. And I thought that was a good thing, and we don't really see that a lot now. We just say, we don't know what to think, so we'll just stay out of it. But
was it really like that back then? Because we didn't know. They just go overthrow countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they want to be bitching about Russia took over our elections. Hell to the no. I think it pisses me off when they call black folks, oh, those were Russian bots. That's condescending and racist. We're not stupid. Not stupid at all.
Yeah, I think back then, a lot of it probably had to do with just acting out of their own self-interest, like France helping the U.S. They saw an opportunity to dissolve and weaken a rival empire in England. So like, oh yeah, of course, we'll help you. We'll help you get your independence. And then us with like, Spanish-American War, like Cuba, and all those other countries that we got involved with. I mean, sometimes bad people do good things. Sometimes good people do bad things. It's not always like one way, or like a good person isn't always right. Or a good person can never do wrong. A wrong person can never do right. It's just happens. Just people behave in certain ways, and they just do things. Sometimes they act out of character. Sometimes they stick to the character. Sometimes they change.
Oh, did you hear about this group? They formed a group. They want to reopen. They filed it with Congress or something that they want the assassinations opened up again for JFK, MLK, and RFK. And I think they added in Malcolm X. I'm not sure, but they want that open again because they don't think it was an inside job.
You guys remember when Trump was bragging about, we're going to release all the JFK documents, every single one. It's going to be glorious. And then they wind up just releasing a quarter of it.
Yeah. And his devout supporters still believe every fucking thing he says. I just don't understand it. But some of his supporters are pissed off with him when he ain't pull out of Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq.
Oh.
And Yemen.
So Nathan Fowler in chat's going, I guess he wants to know your thoughts on Space Force, Trump's Space Force. What your thoughts are about that?
I think that's scary. What, they want to fuck up the space now? They fucking the Earth up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, seriously, they fucking up the Earth. Why would they want to go up there and mess with space?
If there are aliens in outer space and stuff like that, all the aliens are gone. Oh hell no! We're not gonna let them.
No, they make that movie Aliens for nothing.
No, they saw us coming and they were just, oh fuck, the Americans are coming. Fuck, we gotta get out of this bitch right away.
Well, they always say the white folks are trying to find a place to get away from black folks, so they're gonna go up in space now. But we go everywhere, anywhere. Like Cedric the Entertainer said, we'll come up there riding up there with some rims on the spaceship.
Hey, Bon, how deep have you gone into like extraterrestrials?
I think they're not from outer space. If there's going to be any type of terrestrial, it's going to be very similar to us. They're going to be from Earth, just different part of Earth.
Well, so, how about Roswell?
I think that's all most likely a government controlled opposition for Project Bluebeam that they're setting up. I mean, they want in case there's either they're doing a fake alien invasion or they're actually letting the real powers that be show up, and they're gonna say, hey, these are outer space aliens, we gotta fight them. They'll fake the war between each other, but everything's pretty much can be okay in the end, saying, okay, we have a truce, they're gonna give us technologies and all this other stuff, but we got to do this. And so they're kind of like co-opted rulers, but now they could be out in real open spaces and people could see them. And you know, who knows? The thing is, they don't tell us jack shit. We just have to kind of investigate. And there's so many people talking about so many different things. Like, which person are you going to believe, and which research and which book, which is most of the information that we get are published and it's just wide open for people to read. And like, even if they have like a soft disclosure from the militaries, is how much are we going to believe for that? It could just be disinfo on purpose. Yep. I mean, most of it's just the actions that they have and the actions that just make sense. Like, if we were in that same situation trying to force a narrative, how we would do it, we would pretty much do it the same way, or we would do it differently, or we wouldn't do it at all. So you just always have to keep thinking in weird strategic and tactical, logical ways, and sometimes it hurts. It just hurts thinking about it. It's like, I don't even want to think about it because I've got more important things to think about, stuff that they aren't doing. Yeah, you know, if they want to distract us, it's always a magician's trick. They say, hey, look over here, this is a distraction, look over here, and then look this way, and then there's like, okay, why are they wanting us to look that way? What is it that I'm doing here that they don't want me doing? Oh, I'll just keep going. Right, so, and it's just like the magnetic North Pole. When I was researching magnetic North Pole and talking about how there's stuff there, next thing I know on the news is magnetic North Pole just moved further south. It's like, that's just weird. Odd. Why would they just start saying that? I mean, there was no news before that for months or even a year or two. And then I just talk about it with a YouTube video, and all of a sudden, magnetic North Pole is shifted. It just
oh, it's in Argentina now.
I mean, and then you see a lot of the, I hate using the word shill, but you just see a lot of YouTubers going, what happens when the poles shift and the end is nigh, the poles are gonna shift, things are gonna go all crazy. And of course it's never happened. I mean, the scientists say it's happened many times. Ancient texts say it never happened. They never mention it. And then we never see any real pictures or any evidence, you know, how it affects actual things, and you know, it's just like, I don't want to be distracted into that, but it's just a weird thing, a weird event. And I hear Eric DeBay talking about it. It's like he mentions something and all of a sudden videos come up kind of saying the opposite thing, or just, it's like, it's almost like the simulation matrix that people have conspiracy theories about. I don't think it's quite true in that same way, but it's just like, I'm a small channel, or at least it appears I'm small, because the
and
numbers,
you have like 1,000.
I mean, yeah, it's very small. Yeah, thanks. But like views, I don't get a lot. It depends on the videos, but it's like, why would they even bother saying something like that if it's not even a big thing yet? But they just want you concentrated on the movement towards a magnetic North Pole, so that you see pictures and it's like there's nothing there. So anyone who talks about magnetic North Pole, they're gonna be like, dude, this guy's crazy. He's just talking about stuff like the ancients are talking about, or historical accounts that aren't mainstream. And if you look at the magnetic North Pole, look, we've got a diagram right here with like blue lines and red lines, and saying, hey, look, these are the magnetic resonances. They're shifting further south because we told you so. And that's all you need to know. It's just crazy. It'd be like if any of the Democrats were saying, this is how the world works, this is how the economy works, like Hillary Clinton saying, hey, this is NAFTA, this is the gold standard. You know,
she has
trade.
Gold standard for gold showers.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, we need TPP. It's the gold standard. It's like, no, it makes no sense. We don't need that. We haven't needed that. There's no, and we've had a very bad, you know, thing that was very similar to it, and it hurt us. So it just, yeah. Sorry, I hate going off on those rants. I'd rather have.
And Obama socked it to us more.
Yeah. Hey, who do you think was the worst president, Obama or George W. Bush or
They're
Bill
both
Clinton?
as equally as worse.
Yes, but Obama pushed 7 extra wars, though. Bush didn't. He wanted to, but he had a problem with that Iraq war. So that's why he didn't push it, because that was all in the plan. General Wesley Clark even mentioned that.
Yes, senior.
That was all in the plan to go to 7 other countries and take over. And Obama went and did it.
Mm-hmm.
That man dropped bombs for 8 straight years in different countries.
Yeah, I think one of the countries were different. I think he mentioned I think Iran was one of the countries that General Wesley Clark Sr. mentioned.
He mentioned it. We're heading into that pretty soon, it looks like, with Trump. Which is just a weird thing. It's like a lot of people like Trump, and I can understand some reasons for it, but then he's still in the war effort, the continuation of the war effort that was started by George W. Bush and actually Bill Clinton was actually doing it too. It was just under the radar.
Yes, and Somalia.
Yeah, Somalia and Iraq.
We got rushed the hell out of there running.
Yeah. So it's just the war policies always stay the same throughout the presidencies.
Yeah, pretty much. Ebon, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any illustrations for what people who have gone to the magnetic North Pole have seen, or what people theorize could be there?
I'm still going through some of the accounts, but that there are giants there is one. There's just giants, and there's also, but that could just be one section. Like it's supposedly there's 4 rivers, so 4 subcontinents before you get to magnetic North Pole, which is a huge mountain and / tower that goes all the way up to the top of the Earth, permanent, whatever. It's just the craziest thing. Just how gigantic it is, and that it's similar to maybe what certain movies allude to it, like Wizard of Oz, that there might be in Charlie's Chocolate Factory, like munchkins or different types of creatures. Almost a lot of the old accounts mention a dragon, a serpent type creature or something, but it's an illusion. It's a test for whoever's there, whether they're worthy and have a true purpose to continuing, because most people who have no purpose aren't going to want to continue on when they meet that creature. So it's kind of a test. There's certain mentions where only a child or the mind of a child are able to get to the center. And I don't know why exactly that is, but then when you see a lot of fictional fantasy movies and things like that, it's usually a child or someone pretty innocent in their thinking, but someone who's good at heart, because a lot of children are want to be good. So there's also that. But yeah, it supposedly gets warmer and brighter rather than what many people would think is darker, because you're going further away from the equator and the sun. But the days actually are a lot longer, and throughout most of the year. There's a lot of that stuff, a lot of those stories that some say it's peaceful, some say it's dangerous. The inhabitants there. So it's almost, it's like, I don't know which ones to regard, but I'm just kind of keeping them all into one pile of, all right, so it's just pretty much random until I get there, right?
Right. So have you seen, I think I found something here. I think you've probably already seen this. Let me just share screen really quickly. Can you see that?
Yep, I read Mercator's letter to John D. Nathan, yeah. Yep, yeah, I saw that one. That's Mercator's map.
Okay. And this is Mount Meru?
It looks like a different version of the map, but yeah, that's Mount Meru. People call it Shambhala or other things. Someone mentioned that it was mostly William F. Warren. So he was the first the person who heads university, so Boston University. He was the one that he was the head honcho, not the founder, but the head honcho, the president of the university for like 3 decades, and yeah, he wrote on a lot of accounts about the magnetic North Pole, the center of the Earth. Except he still thought it was a globe model. He didn't think it was a flat model, but all of his stories and all the ancients that he gathered all the information from pretty much alludes to that it's a flat Earth model. And so it's just kind of a weird thing. That's also another where I'm kind of looking up all the historical context. I don't know whether, and someone else, I think it's FlatWater, FlatEarth, he does the same thing. He kind of read over it and he's thinking, well, everything adds up, but then he just kind of throws a little twists and saying, oh, it's a globe. And so maybe it's a kind of he wants to let people know what's there on all the ancient stories and it's real, but throw people off because if it's a globe, then I don't know. It's just really weird stuff. I mean, he is, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you want to think about someone very prestigious and notable, and you're gonna think, oh, whoever wrote that stuff is crazy. Oh, he's the head of the University of Boston University for 3 decades. Yeah, the crazy people are only those types of people with no credentials. Of course, he has huge credentials, probably more credentials than anyone who probably think him crazy, right? So anywhere you look, whether it's someone who's very prestigious with their academia or someone who's low like me with just a high school diploma in his basement, it's just the information and the truth that counts, right? It doesn't really, whichever way you go, someone has written about it or talked about it. And if you think it's crazy, well, you're thinking, just some guy in the basement. But no, there's this guy over here. He's got like more credentials than you'll ever have in your life that's saying it. And then there's also, oh, this guy in YouTube is saying it. No, well, here's Washington Post, New York Times, New York, whatever, that the government website .gov saying it. So are you gonna not believe the YouTuber but also not believe government or this very prestigious journal, I guess? It's like, so where are you getting your information from? How are you thinking? What are you believing? I mean, if you think this person is crazy, then why isn't this organization crazy? Because they're saying the exact same thing. They're just trying to point you to a better direction to go to get more information. Because I mean, pretty much everyone who goes seeking for the truth and tells others to research is like, hey, if you want to start somewhere, start at the horse's mouth, start at the source. And usually the source comes from NASA, government, this figurehead, the politician history books. It's all there. It's all written down. It's not like we go, let's come up with a conspiracy theory. I think this, and I'm going to make up all this stuff, and then I'm going to make it connect to this somehow crazy. No, we start at this little source. It's like, hey, they said this? What? Why would they say this? And then we get to this conclusion. It's not like we come up with this, this little thing. And it's like, hey, let's just make up stuff as we go along. No one's going to follow that type of conspiracy theory. So I don't know what people are thinking sometimes. I mean, I understand everything seems crazy because you're thought to think it's crazy since you go to public education.
So, I want to bring to light a few interesting images I found using Ecosia, a different search engine. So there's this one, which is kind of eerie because I'll have to show you guys. So this is a search of magnetic North Pole still.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just let you guys look at that. this picture here. Now, what is a bit eerie about this is all their faces have been blacked out.
Yeah.
And this flag, I have no idea what the hell that means. It looks almost like the Templar symbol there.
Yeah, it does.
But now you go to the website, click on full-size image. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, it looks like it's cached by the search engine, but you can't have
That kind
access.
of look like the ice people from Games of Thrones.
Yeah.
Ice people. I wouldn't know. I don't watch Game of Thrones, guys.
Oh, I caught up on that thing. I'm ready for the new season.
Yeah.
Final season.
Yeah.
Final season, supposedly, right? And there's this one.
Oh, yeah, that's fake. I think that's the South Pole one. No, that's the North Pole. That's the North Pole one.
Yeah, look at all these flags. You got UK, you got Norway. Of course, you got the US. I believe... I always get confused with Australia and New Zealand. I think New Zealand has the red star, so that'd be New Zealand.
What's interesting is look at the sun. Doesn't that seem pretty close? I mean, you're the furthest away from the equator.
Yeah.
Yet the sun looks pretty dang high.
Yeah. It's super bright, too.
Yeah. I mean... Imagine if it was the shadows were very small. That means the sun was just right above you. Of course, they're not going to do that. You'd basically have to be in like Ecuador with snow, so that's not going to happen. But I mean, I just think that's they could pick any place and put a pole up there. Like I could go if there's a snowstorm in Nebraska. It's so flat, and all that there are is just going to be just snow. Say, hey, look, I'm at the North Pole.
Yeah, I could see this being very easily staged. Yeah, because there's literally like nothing around. All you need is just maybe a mile or so in any direction where it's just snow. Yeah, and you could probably stage something like this, get a few flags.
Here's the thing. We've had people go into the deepest trenches, the Marinara Trench, and James Cameron, he did an expedition down there in his own private, mini submarine. We've been to the moon, landed on the moon 6 times. We've orbited the moon, I think 4 extra times, or maybe 5. So we've been there, I think 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 times without dying. We've had videos up there where we're actually driving around rovers and stuff. Have we seen one video of an expedition to the magnetic North Pole?
Mm.
I mean, I would think that we would go because look at all the tricks you could do. Look, this is the strongest you'll ever get to a magnet. This is the most powerful magnet on Earth. Much less that may be this most powerful magnet in the universe. And so how can planes fly there? At what point will a plane just go because they're made out of metal, just attach itself to the North Pole? Any storms that go through, are there going to be a whole bunch of balls and metal objects that just kind of stick to the North Pole area, or is it just going to repel everything? I mean, you got such a strong magnetic force. Is it just going to be just ice formation? That's it? Just a big pole that they could stick there? And I mean, if that was the magnetic North Pole and they put a metal pole on it, would anyone have the strength to pull that pole off? I mean,
it'll be like Excalibur.
Yeah, I mean, just think of the most powerful magnetic thing that you have that we use for construction or whatever. It's pretty dang strong. This magnetic force of the North Pole should be hundreds of thousands times stronger than even that. So anything that's close to metal is just gonna fly through there and stick. Yet that magnetic force is shifting. So does that metal also shift? It would. So is it just accumulating a whole bunch of metal? And when does that stop? When does that magnetic force stop? it's just so many things, so many questions, and you would think that someone could go and film that event of just, here's the most powerful magnetic force in the world. Look at all these objects that have accumulated throughout history, time immemorial, that have collected in the magnetic North Pole. It'd be like a gold mine. Imagine. I don't know how magnetic gold or silver is. I don't think they're that magnetic, are they? But imagine if you wanna find a lot of like minerals that are attracted to magnetism, you can go there and just find a way to just pry things off. And you got something from maybe like the 4th century, where a gladius sword or something, something that you just pull that off and you sell it on eBay for $1 million. You're rich. I mean, just go to the magnetic North Pole, pick something out of there, and go home and sell it on eBay.
Bon, are you going to the magnetic North Pole as a get rich scheme?
No. Well, look, if I make it there and share the thing, I think I'm gonna have people just throw in support anyway. It's like, hey, I want a second expedition there. I want to bring more people on a crew, etc. And people would be like, hey, go, because this is the first time we've seen someone at the magnetic North Pole. No other video out there, right?
I didn't think about it before, but now that you were bringing it up again, I'm pondering the effects of that level of magnetism on the human body. Because remember, we have all these different minerals, these metals in our bodies.
Yeah.
Some not so good, and especially from West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're in Flint.
No. I don't think lead is magnetic.
That's a good question.
So yeah, this is a horrible topic segue, Christian.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all right. I'm just kidding.
But it is quite a thing to ponder. Like, what would happen if just a human being would wind up standing 10 feet from the damn thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nathan Feller, Mercator, was saying that ships. His story is that ships' nails were being pulled off when they were going to the magnetic North Pole. So there is a historic account of that. Yeah, I just remembered. So yeah, there are weird things, and that there's a whirlpool underneath the mountain. So all at the center of the Earth, there's a big whirlpool, and there are some accounts, esoteric accounts, that if you go down there, that there's something else. There's within the Earth, whether it's Hollow Earth or whether it's like New Age stuff. There's an entity down there, or that there's a very peaceful civilization that there's no violence at all. It's just the most peaceful thing you could have, the most abundant place. Creatures
like what Admiral Byrd described. Yeah.
So except instead of Antarctica, yeah. So I don't know. It's just really weird stuff. But I think if it makes sense that there's a dark tower at the magnetic North Pole, because
like Stephen King's novel.
Yeah, in a way, because if you think about it, a magnet, so even if you think in scientific terms, a magnet so strong, it's going to accumulate so much metal that passes through, whether through storms, shipwrecks, whatever, that's going to start piling up, and either it's going to pile up that way. But if you get like a magnetic, like a ball or something, right, like that, and you just put metal around it, it starts forming, and you just start forming into this kind of spiralized tower. It doesn't like just stay grounded. It has its own visual force, right? So that you can see from the like the metallic shellings and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see what shapes up there and what goes there. And I think I don't know, it'd be so interesting. The thing is, maybe it's also impossible to film. Maybe people have tried to film it, but like if you have a camera, batteries, how is that going to work? It has aluminum body. How is it going to, like, how are you going to control like digital instrumentation? Will it mess up your cell phone if you're going to record through that, or your laptop or video camera? Like, how do things react in such a big magnetic area?
You have to use a big old camera from the 1900s.
It's, plastic Kodak.
Plastic Kodak, completely plastic.
Yeah.
No, but my main trepidation now, thinking about it again, about a human being getting close to that thing, is, do you remember the scene in the first X-Men with Magneto and the guard?
Yeah.
When he escapes.
So all the things just going out of your body, like, the irons.
You have too much iron in your blood. And he just takes it all out of his body and kills the guy. That's what I'm thinking of in my mind as a nightmare situation.
I don't know. No, well, maybe. It'd be nice to have information out there like that, wouldn't you think? But there's no scientific exploration or research that's available to the public on it.
I got an idea. I say we send members of Congress to give us data.
What was that?
We send members of Congress to the magnetic North Pole, see how it reacts to...
See how they react, yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, they fucking work for us, so they should go on they should get off their asses and fucking do something instead of, like, lecture bullshit.
Yeah, well, let them be the game.
Yeah, they do nothing, Congress.
Like the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Look into my crazy eyes. I'm here to tell you that socialism is great, magical, and wonderful. And follow me on Twitter, which I will complain. Awkward silence.
I'm just thinking, what do we want to start talking about now?
You know what they doing to her now? Because the Democrats voted out of it. They redistricting New York.
Oh, gerrymandering?
So they can get her out.
It's funny because remember the Democrats used to talk about how the Republicans keep gerrymandering?
Yeah, they always blame Republicans, but them motherfuckers are doing the same thing.
Yeah, man. It's a joke.
Yeah.
They both one party. There's no two parties no more. Democrats used to be anti-war. They're not anti-war no more. As soon as Trump said, I'm pulling out a cigarette, oh no, you're going to put us in danger.
Those Democrats, they have gotten fucking crazier by the day.
Yes, they have.
Pathetic.
They have lost their critical thinking, and a lot of other people have since Trump got elected. Even my husband.
It's that damn mainstream media.
Yeah, because he can't let it go. Because he be like, you a Trump supporter. No, the hell I'm not. I didn't vote for him. But I have to defend him.
Yeah. What about your kids, Shirley? Are they, how are they?
They laugh at me. He's like, Mom, you a Trump supporter? I'm like, no. And my daughter came in here and picked me one day. I got my favorite book. She pulled out Michelle Obama's book. I said, why the fuck you keep making them rich? Oh, I want to hear about her struggles. What struggles? What has she done? She was just first lady. That's it. She was popular. She danced. Whatever.
And apparently a man to people.
Yeah, the conspiracy theory is
what you say, Eric?
To transvestigation. There are many in the conspiracy theory world.
I wasn't believing that, but when I saw that video of her on the Ellen show with the white pants on and she's pushing forward, she had a lump in her pants. I'm like, what the hell?
It could be a strap-on. I mean, she could be wearing a strap-on for all we know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, these far white people are going crazy. But then when I saw that video, I'm like, damn, they may be going on to something. I saw another one on Black YouTube where they show Obama and Michelle's best friends. They said those are their kids, not Michelle. So have you ever seen a picture of her pregnant with either of those girls?
No.
Well,
no, I haven't.
But they say the flat Earth is like the last conspiracy you kind of go down. I don't think that's true. There's the transvestigation, that one where a lot of the celebrities.
I love that. It sounds like this is the funniest fucking thing I ever heard. Transvestigation. When did you come up with that? That is like perfect.
So there's that one. That one I am still up in the air about, because it's just, if you think flat Earth is out there, that is out there. That transvestigation.
Okay, guys, I actually got a photo for you. Okay, just give me a second. I'm gonna share.
And they say 2 guys that was in bathhouses. Obama was in them. And they wanted to come forward, but they didn't bother with them.
Yeah. Oh,
that was a rumor too.
Where he got the name Bathhouse Barry.
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 times where President Obama keeps calling Michelle Mike or Michael.
Yeah.
That's why they call him Big Mike. It's like so fucking funny. Like one time I called into Hard Bastards live stream, and I was like talking about when people talk about Big Mike, I was giving my take. It could be a strap on for all we know. And plus, Obama legalized propaganda.
You gotta. Yep. You should send me that link so I can listen to that. Eric.
I'll find it.
Right. Here's the image of my search.
Go ahead.
Michelle Obama pregnant. Okay, Michelle Obama pregnant. Ready?
Yeah. Google or on DuckDuckGo or
Ecosia.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Oh, you have to look on YouTube.
Oh, I have to look on YouTube. Yeah.
I'm on YouTube. I can't see it on YouTube.
Oh, it's a delay. It's like a 15-second delay. Oh, it might not show because yeah, I don't see it on YouTube either. That's interesting. Do you see it on YouTube, Ebon?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, I don't know why.
Oh, now there it is.
It's just a delay, remember?
And then you got
what the heck?
You got Zuckerberg.
That's not Michelle.
No, it's not Michelle. No.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a joke picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh well, there was like something else like
Well, there's also it's not a transvestigation one, but that Chelsea Clinton isn't Bill Clinton's daughter. It's like
I don't believe she is.
Yeah, that she's actually Hillary Clinton and some other Jewish guy that's her father.
Or it could be Vince Foster.
Oh well, what else was there? And also there was like it happened at the very, very end of the year. What was that? The GameStop and the GameStop and the ma'am.
It sounds like a comedy sketch.
Oh, when I watched it, I was like, when I seen it, because the transgendered woman wanted to be called ma'am. He's like, it is ma'am.
Oh, I know that one. I know what the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And they made a bunch of memes about it, like Macho Man, Franny Savage, and that shit was funny. There were a bunch of funny other that was actually very, very funny. That was memed. But but it just makes me think, it's why it just makes me think in my own mind, why the fuck are they so asphyxiated on that label though?
Control.
The snap at the GameStop employee, and like I did laugh at the video. I'm like, I observe it in a serious manner too. I'm like, it's like, why are people so asphyxiated on these labels?
They're sort of safety nets in a way.
Well,
I think we've been groomed to label everything, including ourselves, by society. So if you're, for example, take Republicans and Democrats, our political climate right now. It's either you are all Republican, all in, or all Democrat, all in. There's no in between. There's no third option. It's like pick a side. You only got two sides. But wait a minute. What if I don't want those two sides? What if there's another side over here and there's another side over there, another side over there? Oh no, you can't have that. It's either A or B, or really A1 and A2.
Yeah, yeah. It's also easy to kind of prop up from like an ideological side. They love ideologies because it's basically, hey, you can't talk about how it's like to be LGBTQT or whatever. And it's like, well, I am a LGBTQT, so then they got, oh, well, why are you talking about? I don't get it. It's just like someone talking about being how hard it is being black, and Shirley's like, I'm black, it ain't hard. It's like, oh, or like if someone's talking about like Asians or something like that, and it's like, I'm Asian, I don't think that way. It's like, well, they get shut down because they don't know what to say. But when they try to control a group, a bucket, whatever it is, and get everyone there saying the same thing, saying, hey, if you just keep with this narrative, you'll have a lot of power because no one else is within that community, within that group, is going to say anything bad about it, because then you just lose power. But then there are certain people who go, I don't care about groups, I just care about the truth, I care about justice, whatever. And then you have these weird things, and people out there, when they hear someone from a certain group saying the opposite of what the big official mainstream narrative is, people start having that cognitive dissonance type of reaction, right? It's like, well, I'm just gonna go with it anyway. She must be like, she's just a weirdo, or he's just a weirdo. That's just my
It's
take
interesting,
on it.
man. It's surely.
And plus, the person kicked over, kicked over something, and went on a tirade.
Yeah. And look here. This is a weird thing. Look, we've got an Asian male. You're Hispanic, right, Christian? I don't know if I call it Hispanic. You're Hispania at least.
Yeah, I'm Hispanic, man. Yeah.
Okay. And then Shirley's a black woman, and Eric, you're a white male. We all have differences, and also so it's I don't like when we actually.
Shirley and I both have a similarity that we're both technically African American. My family comes from North Africa as well.
Yeah. And so it's like, here's the great thing is we can talk about anything and everything, yet when we see other channels, especially in the mainstream, it's usually, unless they purposely set it up to be very diverse, but usually it's just pretty much exactly the same as the host.
Well, what I was trying to say earlier before, like, surely you always say it, they will try to divide us up in any and every which way possible. Hell, if they thought that they could divide us up by the color of our shit, they would try it.
Yep.
Like, oh, you have
they don't have they have no message.
It's interesting. Like, I watched like a little bit of one of Joe Rogan's recent podcasts, and he had this comedian from Brazil, one of the first stand-up comedians in Brazil. And he was talking about how when he first came to this country and he saw, like, during the election cycle, people talking about the white vote, the black vote, Hispanic vote. He just thought how crazy it was, like how like he thought he was like saying it was racist. Like he couldn't believe what he was seeing on TV.
Yeah, because other countries, they look at people as humans. They don't look at race. Yeah. And even the LGBT community, they just regular people, humans.
Yeah, I do like subverting expectations, because like I'll talk about how Israel's bad or the Zionists and stuff like that, and like I must be a Nazi, but then I go like, I'm Asian. Are there Asian Nazis, or I'm at least racist against Jews? Like I have friends that are Jewish. We're leasing our apartment in Somerville for almost over a decade is Jewish, and one of the only people I trusted over there to babysit my daughter is like, yeah, I am racist, I guess. They have no answer. It's like they don't want to listen to the truth. They just want to say, you're talking bad about this, you must be this. They don't listen to the words. They just form their own opinion based off of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. They listen to their corporate donors, keep each group divided. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing.
I mean, people should be boycotting the DNC and the mainstream media.
Yeah.
RNC as well.
It would actually be funny, and they would lose.
I say we demolish all of it. Start from scratch. You know, we need new founding fathers because the founding fathers said, hey, we just need to keep fighting for freedom. Otherwise, it's going to be taken away. And, you know, there's even quotes saying, you know, those who don't want give up any freedom for security, you know, they'll just lose it. I butchered that quote, but you know,
those who give up freedom for security will have neither.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's
I think every big event that happened here, it was government involvement. 9/11, Oklahoma City bombing, because those white guys could not make that shit up. And it was one reporter from Oklahoma. She was investigating because she had some good stuff. And she was always only on Fox News. She wasn't on CNN or MSNBC. And she was coming out with different things. She mentioned Arab men was here and things like that. And next thing I know, she wasn't on TV no more, because they had her on basically every week. And I know Boston bombing was an inside job, because Putin warned the U.S. that the one brother was traveling here back and forth from over in Russia. And he was a terrorist. So that bombing didn't have to happen.
What are your thoughts about Family Guy and The Simpsons, where they're putting a lot of the predictive programming stuff?
Well, I haven't been watching it since. I haven't watched it for years.
Well, Family Guy is pretty interesting, because the guy who created Family Guy, he would say, like, for at the Oscars, he would joke about how none of them had to sleep with Harvey Weinstein before the Harvey Weinstein thing happened, right? And
I don't even watch Family Guy.
Oh, but still, he would say just random stuff in Family Guy, and Family Guy has a lot of random stuff, and then all of a sudden, a couple years later, it happens. It's like, doesn't that make you think a little bit? So what else does he know? Just look up on YouTube, you know, Family Guy predictions, and you're gonna be like, what? Because he is kind of an insider, right? He kind of knows that, you know, what happens in Hollywood.
Seth MacFarlane?
Seth MacFarlane, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was stuff in shows like in the 70s, like Barney Miller. They was talking politics. They mentioned Bush. And he wasn't even president then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see it like...
So a lot of these shows have hint.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There was this episode of the Boondocks where they hinted at Oprah Winfrey 2020.
Oh.
Well, I hope that don't happen. But she got this woman, her spiritual advisor, Marianne, what's her name? Marianne Williamson.
Oh,
Nobody heard of her?
no, I haven't. Elizabeth
She's running
Warren,
as
I
an
heard, is running.
independent.
Sorry.
She's running as an independent for president.
Who? Again, what's her name?
Her name is, I believe it's Marianne Williamson.
Marianne Williams.
And she's Oprah's spiritual advisor. And I'm like, Lou, Oprah endorsed Obama. That's the first person she ever endorsed in politics. And look how that worked out for her.
Yeah. No thanks.
And then she talking about reparations for black people. I'm like, here we go. We're trying to bamboozle.
Yeah, she's white.
Yep.
Okay, I see her. Okay.
And plus pictures with her with Harvey Weinstein.
Mm.
You see it like in all art. Like it's strange how art tends to like give you clues about the future, and then it comes to pass in some certain way. Like I was trying to say, comics. I've seen like stuff like comics from years ago. They talk about stuff like there was an arc where a wealthy businessman becomes the president.
Oh, Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future.
The Simpsons also. The Simpsons episode did one where Donald Trump is president. They have him on the podium, exactly like Donald Trump on a podium with his color scheme. And they also have him going down a mall, exactly like
the escalator.
Yeah, that President Trump has. So they did that. And then, of course, you see Lisa Simpson as Hillary Clinton as the next president, saying how after Trump, the economy went so downhill. So they predicted programmed Donald Trump presidency on The Simpsons as well. And then, of course, Hillary Clinton becoming president after Donald Trump.
Well, I hope that prediction don't come true. She need to become no goddamn president. She'll have us. The world will end. But I'm worried about the world ending with Trump with Pompeo and Bolton in there.
Hey, everything's gonna be all right. Hillary Clinton's gonna be in jail. That's what Trump said, right? In the debates. If he were president, she'd be in jail.
Well, he got rid of Sessions because Sessions wasn't trying to do that. But he still got a lot of people in there he shouldn't have in there. They don't have his self best interest.
But there's also an interview that Donald Trump said that that he thinks Hillary Clinton is a good person. That he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her or Bill Clinton. That they're good people. You should listen to that interview. People who are Trump supporters that hate Hillary, they're probably boggled at that. It's like, wait, I thought he wanted her in jail.
Well,
now?
He's back. He's wishy-washy anyway. He'll say one thing and say something else, turn it back around. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, at least, I can say, at least he's honest, because the Democrats were very dishonest. They were playing nice.
Oh, in that way, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So in the comics, it was Lex Luthor that becomes the president. Now, I don't know which I would prefer. I don't know if Donald Trump or like our real life Lex Luthor, Jeff Bezos. God forbid he becomes president. Oh God.
Well, if Lex Luthor becomes president, at least we'll know that there's a Superman. Hopefully. Unless he has Superman imprisoned in some kryptonite prison or something. I don't know. It's like, I mean, wouldn't that be like the trap you would think of making? Make a prison out of kryptonite, encase it with lead so Superman can't see through it. Have Superman fly through and he senses something's not right, and then pull the close the gate, and then Superman's trapped. It's like
I think they've done something like that, but I'm not too well read on Superman to know for sure.
Yeah, there's so many Superman stories out there.
Dude, the character from the 30s.
Yeah, I mean I mean, they have some fun ones because I think that's just Superman gets out of it somehow. I think the fun ones are where like someone takes over Superman's like mind, or like where Superman's gone rogue type of thing. I think those are good stories because then it's like, oh man, how do we stop Superman? He was always the good guy.
Yeah. I think
Speaking of which, there was like the ma'am at the GameStop. There was a picture of her, and it says Super Ma'am.
Oh, Hillary Clinton, Super Ma'am.
No.
Oh
the,
no.
The GameStop. The GameStop
man.
They made so many memes on that.
Yeah.
They're very funny.
If I were in a situation like that, if I'm like, I work a job.
If I was there,
wait, let Christian finish.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I would ask them if I wasn't sure what to call them. Like, I'll say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but what pronoun do you wish to be associated with? I'm just asking so I don't say the wrong one and offend you. Just to be nice, you know what I mean?" Because I guess if I were in that person's shoes, I would appreciate somebody asking me that rather than getting it wrong.
Oh man, it's like you just want
Instead
clarification.
Of being hot under the collar.
What was that about?
It's like you want clarification. You're not trying to talk about it.
No, I'm not taunting them. I'm not ridiculing them. I'm not making fun of them. I just want clarification. So I know.
Yeah.
I've met transgender people. I've been around them.
I get offended when people don't call me by my transgender name. I'm serious. I get offended, but you guys don't ever do it. My pronoun is master and commander. So. It just hasn't been officialized, but seriously, that's my my transgendered pronoun.
You need to copyright it and trademark it. Every time it pops up on TV, on a movie or a commercial, like, oh, royalties coming this way, baby.
They pushing that on us so much, and it's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Just like that guy from Empire talking about he was beaten up by people saying MAGA country, and then that's not true. His story is falling apart. Chicago police said they're gonna file a false police report against him.
Wow.
I think he had a hookup and it went wrong.
Yeah.
On his boyfriend beat him? Oh, the hookup beat him up?
Yeah, because you know how they had sex with the ropes and stuff like that? The little clothesline they found around his neck, they did DNA on it. It was only his DNA on it. And the two men they found in the photo, they questioned them. They were homeless. And while you out 2 o'clock in the morning, it was minus 12 degrees over in Chicago. It was freezing. The cops even told the criminals, please don't commit crimes tonight. It's going to be cold. I'm serious. They put an article out about that. Chicago police said, please, criminals, please don't commit any crimes tonight. It's too cold.
See, ladies and gentlemen, truth is indeed stranger than fiction.
Oh, the criminal masterminds are going, when's the next freezing day?
And it wasn't no crime, but the next day after it thawed, they were out there getting busy.
Criminals going, yeah, this is the first time I'm gonna listen to the cops. It is too cold out there to commit crime.
That might have been the only time.
And plus, it makes me think Hollywood wants to have like another reason so they can go and bitch and fucking moan about the Trump in the media, though. I actually do see that as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely possible, you know.
I mean, the kid with the MAGA hat, the teenager with the MAGA hat. Like when I was on vacation, when I looked at that, I was like, what the? I was like, wow. There was like so much crazy things that happened when when I wasn't around.
Yeah, the media had that wrong.
Hey, remember the vape shop? You seen that video?
Oh, the guy autistically screeching about Trump.
Yeah. So a guy went to a vape shop wearing a Trump. It was a Trump T-shirt. Or did he have a MAGA hat? I think it was a Trump T-shirt, right?
I think it was a black MAGA hat.
Oh, it was yeah, it was a black MAGA hat. And the guy at the counter who worked at that vape shop didn't want to sell him anything. He just started yelling at him, "Get out! He's gonna call the cops and whatever." He's like, "Because I just want that vape. If you want me out of here, just let me buy it and I'll leave." The whole ordeal was crazy. It's like, you're a racist. And it's like, there's a black guy just standing there. He's like, I don't want any part of this. Just that type of look on his face. And the customer is saying, why don't you just ring him up first? He's been waiting here before me. It's like, before you start your tirade. It's just crazy. Yeah, just a hat.
He autistically screeched over a MAGA hat, a person wearing a MAGA hat. That was like, that was actually very funny. But like at the same time, it's like, why do people get so fucking shit triggered over a hat? Over a fucking hat, for fuck's sake.
Christian?
Because the media has it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the media.
They have lost their total critical thinking since that man won the presidency.
Christian and Shirley, you guys think alike.
Yeah, but it was even like that before, to an extent where you have, again, going back into that gang mentality, the tribalism, where you have to hate the other person because they voted this way or they voted that way. It's like, dude, okay, you voted for Trump doesn't mean you're necessarily a good or bad person. It means you voted for Trump. Yeah. And the same thing goes if you voted for Hillary or if you voted for this person or that person. It doesn't necessarily make you good or bad.
Yeah.
My life.
Some people are scared to say they voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I got people who voted in my life for good people who voted for everybody. You name it. And they're not bad people.
No, they're not. They're not deplorables as Hillary calls.
Yeah, Shirley's great. Eric's great. They're Trump supporters.
No, I ain't no Trump supporter.
I'm just kidding, Shirley. I'm just trying to be like your family. Shirley, the Trump supporter.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. We got in the argument. One time my husband told me he dropped me off at the market. He said, I'm going to drive home, go get Uber.
Oh, wow.
Because it was about that Covington thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you see what that white kid did? And I'm like, I don't know the story. I can't believe media, what they saying. Something's going to really come out about it. Coming to find out, that Indian man saw them, and they were being taunted by those radical Israelites. And because I can't stand them here. But they were taunting them. And that Indian man walked right up to them kids because they were singing their school national anthem. And I thought the kid handled himself very well.
Same here. But the mainstream, it's like Hollywood and like, corporate media went after that kid. That like really infuriated me. I was like, I hope all these... Because...
that boy was getting death threats.
Exactly. And he got doxxed. Like, even like celebrities were saying, hey, dox this kid, fucking beat this kid, all that other fucking dumb shit.
Did you guys see Nina? Did you guys see Nina Turner on Sunday on Jake Tapper?
No.
Oh man, y'all gotta get that clip because she got. But this congresswoman I never heard of or saw before, but she was talking about with all this racism. It's because of Trump. And she was still talking. And Nina came out and said, oh, no, No. She interrupted her. She said, I am not going to sit up and say Trump is at fault for racism. Racism has been around for decades before Trump. Trump is not at fault at this, and I don't like Trump. He's a racist, but she said it's not his fault. Because they keep thinking Trump, all this stuff started under Trump.
Yeah.
Even with the immigrants.
Whitewashing the records of,
yeah, because even with the immigrants, Trump is separating the children. Well, where the fuck y'all at when Obama was doing it? He's the porter-in-chief.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
World's going crazier and crazier.
Yeah. They lost their critical fucking thinking. They just hate him, and they're not going to agree with him on anything. If he said the sun going to shine beautiful tomorrow, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Don't believe Trump. Don't believe Trump. It's sickness.
I almost think sometimes they're doing it on purpose because I think they see Trump as kind of,
profitable.
Wily. Yeah, atypical, wily, unpredictable in some ways. And say, oh, you know what? We could pit people against each other by replicating that, on our end. So it's Rachel Maddow with a fucking
I can't stand that kind of
Russia sending cold fronts this way to freeze us. It's like
take out power grids. She went to a new low on that one.
Maddow's a crazy bitch.
Hey, she was a thunderbolt back in the day. A firecracker.
Yeah, she was good back in the day, but she is a bored whore. All of them on MSNBC and CNN, and even Fox News. The only one pretty partially decent is Tucker Carlson, because he defended Tulsi Gabbard.
He seems to be anti-war, at least to a certain extent as well.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about Tucker Carlson, once he had that interview with Jon Stewart, and he always used to wear that bow tie. After that interview with Jon Stewart, he stopped wearing that bow tie, and now he's pretty good.
Maybe it's affecting his thinking.
What was that?
Did Jon Stewart make fun of his bow tie? Is that why he stopped?
No. He's saying like, you gotta watch the interview. But basically, you want people to just kind of, you're giving out information to the public, and it's critical information, and you want your own analysis on it. But you're wearing a bow tie. How seriously can people take you? When you're trying to illustrate a point. I mean, it'd be like someone wearing a clown suit delivering the news, type of thing. How much do you think people are gonna, there's some people, most people, just kind of a thing. It's like the lab coat. You listen to someone wearing a lab coat talking about science and mathematics, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I can listen to this guy. He seems pretty smart. He's wearing the proper things, Or like if you go to a bank and a guy in like a t-shirt and jean goes, hello, how may I help you, sir? It's like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, I'm the manager of the bank. It's like, no manager of the bank would come up to someone wearing t-shirt and jeans. It's kind of the same premise. But yeah, it's just society is kind of made up like that. We have our own, what we wear, how we handle ourselves. When you go into a certain environment, that environment set up a specific way, so people think about that. People are in a frame of mind already when they enter. So he's just kind of saying the same thing. But I want it different. I want it like, you shouldn't be in a frame of mind. You should a frame of mind someone else sets up for you. You need to be in your own frame of mind before you go into a place. Something like that, but you just gotta know the differences. It's tough, but I don't know if I explained that.
Well, I I watched Peter Lavelle from Crosstalk, and he always wear bow ties, and they're crooked. He's a conservative, but he's one of those moderate conservatives. I miss the moderate ones because they had some common damn sense. They could both agree on both sides. But his show was really good. Truly good.
Mm-hmm. When you said that, Ebon, it reminded me of a skit from Dave Chappelle, where he was talking about how women complain when they dress, in scantily clad clothing, very revealing, and men like make advances towards them very sexual. And it's like, hey, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore. Dave Chappelle was
yes, it does.
Countering. Well, Dave Chappelle was countering that, saying like, okay, so then I could go up, dress up as a cop, not on Halloween, just go walk through the street, dress up as a cop, and wait for somebody to come up to me like, officer, help us, come on, you gotta help us, and go, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kills me with women. They dress scantily clad with real tight stuff on. They really don't have a shape on. The guy try to talk to them. Don't talk to me. And I'm like, well, what the hell she dressed like that for? They're not dressing to let the man use his imagination. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's supposed to be. And now we got these damn men wearing fucking skinny jeans.
Mm-hmm.
When I was out one day, I had on my skinny jeans, and then this other guy got on the train, and he had on a pair. I'm like, something wrong with this picture.
The skinny jeans doesn't well for guys it might be weird to me, but
yeah, it is. And then they have it hanging off their ass with their drawers showing.
The one that gets me is like women all over the place now wear yoga pants out in public, and it's basically like,
and they don't have their asses covered. It looks disgusting. It's a lot of them big ones. It's disgusting.
Go ahead, Ebon.
No. I depends on the person whether it's disgusting or not. But I mean,
I know that, but
like I wonder, is like if it's someone attractive, it's like, should I be looking? I mean, it's
I don't care if they're cute. They don't have to dress like
that. I know. But I mean, it's like if you look and they catch you looking, it's like they get offended because they don't like you. You know, they'd rather have someone attractive looking at them that way. And I'm like, well, why wear that? I mean, you can't control whether people look at you or not. You can control how you cover yourself up, right? But what you wear, it doesn't prevent other people from seeing you or thinking thoughts or having them behave a certain way. And so if you're offended or don't like that, then you should change it and not expect other people in the society to change it. Yeah, I just always think that was a weird thing, that their expectations of what they do, they want you to do it even though you're never told to do it, to act a certain way. It's like, no one told me I wasn't supposed to look at ladies' butts when they wear yoga pants. Is there a written rule somewhere? It's like,
I mean, back in the day, I was taught women didn't wear certain things, especially if they had cellulites that looked like cottage cheese through their pants. They wouldn't wear that stuff. Or a stomach. They wear them tights with big stomachs hanging out of the shirt. They wear tight, small shirts, and those tights. It looks disgusting. I said, I don't hope they don't think they're trying to pick up somebody with some money.
Yeah, man. I mean, you see even that kind of stuff in the gym, like women.
Yeah.
You're going to wear comfortable stuff, but why do you have so much makeup on? And why do you have freaking booty shorts where I could almost see your anus?
Yes. They don't let the men use their imagination. They're actually showing them what they're going to get.
Yeah.
I saw that in the old Marmaduke cartoon in the newspaper. It was him and his wife, and this woman came over walking down the street dressed up provocative. He said, honey, these women don't let men use their imaginations no more. And they don't.
We don't need to.
They come out with pajama bottoms.
I just think it's always fascinating. I wonder if it's on purpose. Because remember how, if you look at the late 1800s, early 1900s, everyone was very properly dressed. Even if you were like dirt poor, people were wearing like button-ups and vests and like nice pants. And then culture shifted to just the bare essentials, just like a t-shirt and jeans. And then now it's gotten to be like you're pretty much half naked all the time. Like there was a baggy pants, baggy shirt phase back in the 90s, and now it's like you're practically naked, or you could paint your body, and that suffices as clothes. And if people look at you because of that, that's their problem, and not the you know, I don't know. It's just weird. It just. But I mean,
I've seen some horrific things on the street, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's too big for it. It's too small. And even the comedian Monique said she was big at one time, real big. And she said, just because they make it in our size don't mean you're supposed to wear it. They didn't even listen to her.
But I just wonder if it's just driven that way for whatever reason. I don't know why they would do it, but I mean, I have guesses, but do you think it's driven that way through the powers that be, or do you think it's just the way things happened?
Well, you got to think, back in the day, they didn't make big size clothes like that at all. Mm-hmm. And then black women, I ain't going to say black and white women were complaining, why you don't make the same things for us in our size? Mm-hmm. So they started making it, and they done lost their goddamn minds, because some of them look like baby damn Huey.
Baby Huey. I know what that is.
Their stomach hanging out the goddamn shirt, and they got on them tights. And it's like, oh my God. And then with their children, I'm like, Jesus. Even my husband be cringing. He said, well, they know some men like that. I'm like, well, they some nasty asses.
Oh, man. How did we get to this topic? It just seems to happen, doesn't it?
Hey, it's hell of a tangent. We went from like fucking flat Earth to.
Well, I had breaking news. At least
Philadelphia, and now we're at this.
At breaking news, at least 70 civilians killed as U.S. coalition pounds Syrian village, and they killed seven children yesterday in Syria. I mean, what the hell is going on? I thought Trump was pulling out the troops. No, he got the deep state, Pompeo and Bolton. They still continuing on with their mess.
Yeah.
Remember when Trump ran, he said he's not going to have time to look at security clearance every day.
Yeah. I think they just do that for perception. They do that for every president. It's like, hey, look, he says he wants to pull the troops out. He's he's thinking for the troops, and then they segue. Oh wait, we can just need to reallocate them to somewhere else. The president and everyone who supports the president goes, see, look, the president wanted to pull out the troops, send them home, but then he got pulled in by his advisors, which he put in charge, just saying, hey, we need to send them to this area instead now, and it's the same thing. It's the same tactic. I don't know why people don't see through it. They do the same thing every 4 to 8 years, with the same president, same administration or replacement, same media. They go, oh, we're pulling the troops out because we've had enough of war. Oh wait, we have this war we got to send them to, so they're not going back home. But the president
Yeah.
wants to send them back home because he cares about the troops. They don't care about the
No,
troops.
but when Trump was taking the troops out of Syria, he was sending them over to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They weren't coming home.
Yeah.
And my thing is, it's a low recruitment rate with the military. You think if they start a draft, that people will start getting on the street?
That's a good question.
Actually,
people will.
They won't ever want to do the draft, not because of the people getting on the streets, but because certain people who might
No, I'm
want
not
to
worried about them. I'm not worried about them getting people on the streets. I'm like, will the people get on the street?
Oh yeah.
Then
I'm just saying that if things will get really bad and there's a draft, there are going to be people who go into the military. And they're going to subvert the military as many possible ways as they can because they want to end the military-industrial complex. So, I mean, you can't weed out a lot of people who are drafted because they don't want to be there. They're gonna cause a ruckus. So they understand that the draft was not a good thing. And that's probably why they lost a lot of the Vietnam War, because of the draft. So if they did it like the way they do it now, is like get people excited to be in the military, hoorah, and video games that are like Call of Duty and all this other stuff. Get people like very motivated to be in the military. They'll join by the droves and they'll listen to commands and orders without a problem. But when you have people who don't want to be in a war and they're forced to do it, they're fighting a war on the inside and on the outside. So the military knows the draft is never a good thing.
They showing military commercial now that I feel goody about joining the Marines, Army. They really showing them pharmaceutical commercials, cancer hospital commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super Bowl football. They even basketball, baseball. They have military armed services members and all this other stuff. They'll do everything to showcase for you to join the military, but when you're out of the military, they go, "Oh, screw you."
Yeah,
Veterans
even when you win it.
Healthcare, no.
Ebon, so would you say like that was your experience when you joined the military? Like
I kind of wanted to change things on the inside, but there's no way you could change things on the inside.
No, but I'm asking you, like, from your experience in the military, like before you went, was there like, did you feel like those like, did you see like a lot of like the propaganda, like what you were describing, like
yeah. I mean, they'll show a lot of they usually won't show movies, but a lot of movies that they show you can watch for free, even on the ships themselves, are usually military-driven movies. But most people who go into the military want to go in the military. Some want to do a service, some want to serve their 20 years and get their pension and then go into like being a fireman or a police officer.
And some just join because there's no goddamn job.
Oh yeah. Some don't have a good education and they can get a secondary education within the military. There's some who really wanted to. They're really good people, nice kids. Because when I joined, I was like 21 or something like that. So a lot of the kids out there were as young as 16, but 18 is the typical age. Some were like a little under 17, around 17. And there's just in Navy boot camp, you have to memorize 12 like Navy. There's just statements, whatever. But you had to know them on command. Like a petty officer will come and say, recite naval blah blah number 4, and you have to know how to do it. But there's certain kids who just couldn't memorize anything. I mean, they had a hard time even reading them out loud, but they wanted to stay. They wanted to do anything they could to stay because they know that there's stable income. They can see the world. There's camaraderie within like the people that they're with. But they couldn't do it. They couldn't. just do the basics, and they're 18, and I just wonder, is like, how do they survive in the real world when they can't even like memorize 12 lines? And it's not like they don't have a lot of time. They have like 8 weeks to memorize 12 lines. It's almost like and they have all day to do it. You know, you're just constantly memorizing. Like I had it done in like within a day, memorized, and teaching the ones who couldn't how to do it so they can keep going within the basic training. But
well, you're lucky because some people aren't good at remembering stuff either.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
But they really tried. They it's just they couldn't. And then the odd thing was like people joined the Navy. They could join any other service, Air Force, Army, Marines. But they chose the Navy and they couldn't swim. So, and the thing is, the swimming thing is like you would think the Navy would do like you had to pass the swimming portion of the thing at the beginning. They do it at the end. So they test you like in week 5, I think. I mean, and if you can't make it, they give you an extra week or 2 to hopefully they can train you how to tread water. All it is treading water for I think even half a minute. So just 30 seconds. It might be a minute. I don't know. It's not very long. It's really easy, but people don't know how to swim, and they get set back a week to try to learn. They can't do it. It's like why are they waiting till week 5? It's like that should be the first thing in the Navy. Is like, do you know how to tread water or swim? They go, yes.
Well, Ebon, is it like the scene in Officer and the Gentleman where they had everybody in this room with the pool in there and they had to put this thing on their face to survive underwater long enough? Do you remember? Did you watch that movie?
When I was a kid.
Yeah, but it was the scene. The guy he got a girl pregnant, and then
Richard Gere.
He was and he was really scared. He didn't pass the test underwater to hold his breath long enough, and he got DOR something like that. And then he get home to the girlfriend. She told me he had a ring because he got out of the service, and she was like, I don't know, what's no pregnancy? And he hung himself. I'm like, damn. He was upset that you can pass the test with the thing in the water. Right. Was it like that, though?
Like people killing themselves?
No. Not like killing themselves, but I'm just saying underwater. They had him in a room with water and in a pool or something.
I think you do have to be submerged for a little while, but I mean, like hold your breath test. Like hold your breath underwater.
Yeah, because he didn't last.
I don't know, but yeah, it's very basic. It was the funnest thing. If you could go in the military and just go through basic and not like pass at the end. Because as much as there are certain people who really wanted to pass, but they couldn't because they couldn't swim or they couldn't recite things and memorize things, just do the basics. There are those who could do all those things, found out that the military was not what they wanted and wanted to get out, but they couldn't. So they had to fake certain things. And so I was a yeoman, and people, I don't know why, like I just wanted to help people. Whoever it was that was in the training camp, and I think people understood that because there's our leader, our division leader, was another guy that people hated. They'd put toothpaste in his boots, they'd piss in his boots, they'd piss on his bed because he would just do anything for himself to look good and not care about the actual division. Well, I would like sneak in food for people who were hungry, and if I got caught, I'd be sent back a week or 2. I'd help people who wanted to get out. I would say, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to get out, because that's how people are getting out. Because I would go back and forth delivering paperwork to different areas as the yeoman, and I would know like the people who were getting out, how they were getting out, what excuses that they needed, and so I would just tell them, hey, if you want to get out, you just do this. and stuff like that.
Well, you lucky they treat you like Gomer Powell in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah, Full Metal Jacket. Biloxi Blues. If you ever watch the first half of Biloxi Blues, it's kind of like that. It's really funny. But yeah, it's just a mix. There are some people that are just a little, I don't want to say crazy, just a little different. Like a guy wouldn't put his dirty knickers in a dirty knit bag. He would put it in the corner of the barracks. He'd put his dirty underwear in the corner of the barracks. He wouldn't put it in his dirty hamper bag. It's like, that was weird. A guy couldn't sleep, so he would just like walk around his bed all night. And then a guy, I thought he was normal, his a kid from the Bronx. He would click on the pen, and he'd be like, "Stop clicking the pens!" And then he stop. If the clicking pen stopped, he'd just be like normal, and then you click a pen. He's like, "Who did that? Who's clicking the pens?" He'd go nuts. And I was a different sort of crazy. I was like, give me the toughest thing you got. It's like, because you have to do all these exercise routines if you do something wrong, like push-ups or the whatever thing. And it's like
the whatever thing.
I forgot what you call it right now, but like someone in our they did a thing where it's like, hey, if someone can't do it when they're supposed to, the whole division has to do it unless someone takes that person's place. I would always take the person's place. So most people, they don't last like 5 minutes, and it's like, I'll keep it going. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. All right, Kim, stop. I would want to keep, it was like a challenge. It's like, hey, I'll take the challenge. I'll keep doing it for as long as it takes. I just want to see how long I could do it. I don't know. It was fun. And that's why I went from, I was like E1, and by the end of it, because of my age and my thing, I was supposed to be E2. But by the end of it, they promoted me to E3 at the end of basic. So I went up fast in rate. But once I kind of knew what we were doing on the ship and what we were tasked to do, I was like, I can't do this. Even though I was petty officer E4 when I got to the ship, and then, I mean, while I was in after. When I got to my school in Pensacola, I was petty officer, and then after that, I didn't want to. I knew I wasn't gonna stay in. The thing is, like, they always promote you for advancement before your term is up. It's like, well, I know I'm not staying, so I don't want to take the spot of someone else who is gonna trying to stay for 20 years. So it's like, why would you? And then once that happens, they kind of treat you like dirt. They'll give you all the bad assignments, and I was like, I'm okay with the bad assignments. I just don't want to do this, follow these orders, because I think they're unlawful. And there are certain people, the people who advance are the people who want to stay in, and they don't really care about the other people on the ship. They don't care about their own division. They don't care about anything except for their own advancement. That's the majority of the military people who advance in the military. But there are certain people that understand it, and once they get to that place that they're comfortable with, they know they're not going to go up any higher. They're like, they ease down a little bit. They go, all that work, all this sacrifice, self-sacrifice, all the hate that I get from all the other people, is they kind of change a little bit, and they end up being cool. Like, you'll see some like master chiefs and senior chiefs that are just the guys you respect the most. But some of the people who really want to get to that point, the biggest dirtbags in the world. So it's just a weird life, and there's good and bad in the military, just like there's good and bad in the civilian world.
Well, at least I'm hearing from you, a military guy, that's saying it's good and bad, because my brother, he glorifies the military. He did 26 years in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
He glorifies it. We got a debate one time. He's like, we got the greatest military in the world. I said, we do? I said, why 7 military helicopters crashed in the United States last year? I'm like, no, we're not fully equipped. I said, Russia is better, and they spend less than their military. He's like, no, Russia not better. Russia's not better. Putin is a dictator. That's a communist country. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
He said, I would, if it wasn't for the military, I wouldn't have got away from home. I'm like, no, you chose to join. Because he was in ROTC when he was in high school.
Oh, okay. So he was an officer. He wasn't an enlisted?
No, he enlisted in the Army.
Oh, he was an enlisted. Wait.
No. We have ROTC in high school. The military has this.
I thought,
yeah, okay. And he joined the military. All he got
That's
up to was sergeant when he retired.
Okay. Yeah,
and he never saw war. I mean, he went to Iraq, but he worked supplies, so he actually wasn't in actual battle.
Okay.
But he was scared because he heard all them bombs going off every night. He said it was creepy. So other than that, he said the military was great. He ain't say nothing negative about it. Like you described, it was good and bad.
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't do that.
Like, it was weird because for my rate, there's on our nuclear carrier, there's only 2 people that did our job. So we had 12-hour shifts rather than 8-hour shifts, like a normal 3-person team. So that kind of sucked. And then we'd have our watch. So we'd have our watch for the 24-hour shift. And so you get used to being tired and not sleeping. But yeah, there are some weird times because like you'd be around there like around like it is now, 2 to 4 a.m. whatever, and you just kind of roaming the ship while everyone's asleep. It's dark. You go out outside and it's just really dark and empty, and it's like I never had the creepy feeling. I always felt like it was peaceful. Like not many people get to be out in the middle of the ocean on the deck of a nuclear aircraft carrier looking at the sky, the stars, and just the reflection on the water. And it's like, this is pretty cool. but then, you know, there's also like when we actually have operations to do, I'm not down with the operations. It's like you could only follow orders as much as you feel like you're doing the right thing. If you question, that's why you're not supposed to question. If you question your commanders, you're not going to follow orders. They're not going to want you in. And so you have to, you're more than the civilians, you have to trust no matter who's in charge that they're doing the right thing. The only thing you could do is say that it's an unlawful order, but then no matter what, you're going against orders. Even if it's a lawful order, at the time, they could be telling you one thing and the thing is they're lying. But as long as you follow orders, they don't care. So it's, my opinion is like, so what makes this different than the Nazi army? You know, if we were under Hitler, would you still follow the orders to gas people and all this other stuff, kill women and children? I wouldn't. So what makes it any different than if we were told an unlawful order?
Well, Kissinger did, and he said he would do it again if he had to repeat it.
And guess what he thinks about the people in the military? You know, Kissinger's quote about the military?
No, I haven't heard his quote about that.
What? You guys haven't heard it? All right.
But from what you're saying, Ebon, you're saying that.
So quote by Henry Kissinger: "Military men are just dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy."
Damn, and that's what they're using them for.
Mm-hmm. You don't believe me? You guys can see it here.
If that guy is one hideous fuck, Henry Kissinger.
He is. And that's Hillary's mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hideous on the outside, hideous on the inside. Double whammy right there.
All right, so Starbusting Otter says, what are your thoughts on this anti-vax movement? I like it. I think there's some benefits with vaccinations, but they always put in the poison as well. Like, for example, if I told you, would you put aluminum in your body? What would you say?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Oh,
If I said, would you put formaldehyde in your body? What would you say?
Fuck no.
Nope, because in the epidural, there's fentanyl in it.
Yeah. So if I told you to put
mercury,
organic mercury, in your body, would you do it?
Hell no. They warn you about eating fish with mercury.
Yeah, they do. It's slightly different, but yeah. But like they have all these stuff in vaccines as ingredients, and if it's toxic individually, then why is it better collectively? And not just ingesting it, but putting it in your bloodstream. But so in this day and age where we can make anything, there's so many. I mean, the amount of chemistry that we have has grown exponentially since the 50s, and we haven't found any alternatives to medicine or ingredients to put in vaccinations. I just think that's crazy. Hold on. There's a new person, but I'm gonna.
Is that Nash?
Might be
I think so. Nash, is that you? Nash, I just want to know so I'm hiding your number. I'll just put Nash.
And that's, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm about to become another new grandmother.
Hey.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations, bro.
Congratulations.
My daughter is pregnant now.
Nice.
Yeah, and I be warning her. I said, don't be giving my grandbaby all them damn vaccines they giving her right now. Just give her the regular. She said, I know what you talking about, Mom. You got my shot book, and they going to get the regular what I got. Because, I mean, they giving them too many medicine and vaccines. Like one day, my granddaughter came in with 3 Band-Aids on. I'm like, where the hell she's been? In a war?
Yeah. Hey, at least you get another person to call you a Trump supporter in your family, Shirley.
Who, me?
Yeah.
And I told her, watch the food she give her. I said, give her organic baby food. And I just, well, she knows, she's aware. She know how I am.
The less pesticides, the less.
Yes.
The less antibiotics they give the animals, the better as well. Sometimes they'll feed them cornmeal or other stuff, and then they'll give them antibiotics so they don't get sick. And then, of course,
that RBGH they put in cows.
Yeah.
That causes cancer.
And then the water is actually really important too. Hey,
yeah,
Nash.
the water is actually, but because they got this new technique now. Don't give your baby water and lay your baby on the back. I'm like, where the fuck they come with that laying the baby on the back? Babies spit up at night. If they spit up laying on their back, they regurgitate and could choke off their vomit and die.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it was Kissinger's idea. Welcome to the New World Order.
Because I had to keep going out, getting on my granddaughter's mother. She wanted, my doctor said lay her on the back. I'm like, look, I'm old school. You lay them on their stomach. They spit up at night, laying on their stomach.
Hey, you guys, don't talk bad about Kissinger or Obama. They got the Nobel Peace Prize. They're the most peaceful leaders on Earth.
Tough
Get the
bullshit.
hell out of there. And Obama just received the RFK Humanitarian Award. I'm like, oh my God.
RFK would be like puking right now if he knew that.
Yeah.
Did you see Kissinger sitting next to Trump? Like, oh my God. Kissinger literally looks like a shriveled up troll, evil little goblin.
He looks like a prune.
He looks terrible. What an evil man.
Yeah.
What is he surviving off of? Kids being trafficking, using their organs and stuff?
If there's more evil to do in this world, he's gonna stay alive as long as it takes to keep doing it. That's why I love Bob Marley. You know, his quote is like how he got shot and he didn't take a day off for singing in concert, and he goes, why don't you stop and rest? Because he says, you know, that the bad people in this world don't ever take a day off, so the good people shouldn't either. I butchered it.
No, evil never sleeps. What about Mitch McConnell and his wife? You know, the Asian, you know, and her dad owns like the biggest shipping company, and they're responsible for child trafficking and all this crap. I mean, these people are the most evil motherfuckers, period. That's who rules this world.
Yeah.
Aren't you sick of it? These people are just evil. Whatever you could think of. They're pedos, they're satanic, they murder millions of people. Watch what happens with Venezuela. What are we going to do there? Go in like locusts? You're not going to see your gas prices go down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And my thing is, do you realize that John Lennon, he was assassinated?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in his New York City.
Because I'm like, how that guy had easy access to him when he just walked in to go in his damn apartment?
Yeah.
Because he was an activist.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's the quote from Bob Marley. The people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. Why should I? It's good stuff.
But you can't fool all the people all the time.
No woman, no cry.
Oh, man.
No woman, no cry.
I thought I was only going to be doing this for an hour. It's been 2.5. Time flies.
Holy crap.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Why'd you wait so late to come on, Nash?
I don't know. Stage fright.
He's hesitant to going on a Flat Earther show. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, you know. All right, let's get into the Flat Earth. Yeah.
I wish Ebon would do more open topics. I missed that.
All right, I'll try to do.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff I be wanting to release, man. Because if I release it with my husband, we get in an argument.
Hey, yeah. Sometimes I'm just busy. Like I've been playing more games with my brother now, which is kind of nice and takes a.
Oh, what video games?
Just Age of Empires HD. And sometimes I'm just doing research, my own research. Especially now, it's the North Pole, magnetic North Pole stuff. But if you guys ever want to do an open topic, you know, you guys just message me, text me, direct message me, email me. I'm okay.
Ebon, how did you turn on to the Flat Earth stuff? Because that wasn't your that wasn't even on your radar a while ago, and now you're like, hey.
PBS. There's a thing called something by Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was in it. And here's the funny thing about Stephen Hawking is like his voice was the robotic voice. Anyone could do a voiceover of Stephen Hawking. And you just have Stephen Hawking muted on a wheelchair, just looking at the camera. He can say anything you want. And it's like, Stephen Hawking said it. But anyways, there's this PBS channel doing this thing.
Quick joke, and you can go back. There's a Robin Williams joke where It's like you call the house of Stephen Hawking and you hear this. It's like, you have reached the house of Stephen Hawking. It's like, I like to leave a message. No, this is Stephen Hawking. All right, go on.
Who was that again?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. He's good.
No mercy. No mercy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyways, the first part of it, I think the first 15 minutes is to debunk flat Earth by seeing a curve in the horizon as a helicopter was going through. The only problem was there's like a 2-second snippet of it where they use the same footage, and you can tell it's the same footage because you got 3 birds going over the water. They had one going over the water, the same 3 birds with the helicopter not being seen, and they used that second footage, the same 3 birds, because I had to take the snapshots of it, of the helicopter rising over the horizon in the back. So they video edited footage, the same footage, for 2 different outcomes. So if they're gonna lie in something as simple as debunking flat Earth, which should be very simple, why would they edit the video using the same footage of one without a helicopter being seen, one with the helicopter rising? And so that was like, all right, I'm gonna have to look more into this, because we already know that mainstream media lies. In certain other types of media that's like mainstream but like public, like NPR, PBS and stuff like that, they still push propaganda too. But you would think that they wouldn't, and like someone like Stephen Hawking, where everyone respects in the scientific world, it's like, if he's in on it and lying, it's like, dude, something's wrong. So I just investigated more, and there you go. 3 birds and Stephen Hawking made me a flat earther.
Okay.
So thanks, Stephen Hawking.
It's just difficult because everyone you're supposed to trust are the people you can't trust. I mean, we saw this going back to Quiz Show. Hey, we're just show business, man. That's all we are. We're lying to everybody, but it's just show business.
Yeah. I mean, NASA, we already know NASA lies all the time. I mean, why do they need green screens? And they have like $50 million a day. And you can't get like legitimate videos. They have to give us CGI. And then you got the photos of Earth. You would have millions of photos of Earth from outer space. We have millions of photos of outside of space, right? But those are all CGI too. They're all, and then you've got pictures of Earth. They have it on NASA's website. You could go to nasa.gov and you could find it yourself. You got clouds saying sex. You got clouds that are copy and pasted, and you got even people saying from NASA themselves that the pictures they get aren't real. They're not taken from us. They get data, certain photos from NASA, and the designers are supposed to piece them together to how they think that the Earth looks. It's like, well,
absolutely. That's not new. Yeah. I mean, this is I've been on a few channels. I think I still want more proof. I want more.
That's good. I think you should.
I think the flat Earth community makes a very compelling case. Actually, they're very thought provoking. But you got to give me more.
I think everyone should go at their own pace. Like, I don't force anyone into believing in flat Earth. It's not a belief. It's you know it or you don't, and you're not going to know it or you don't unless you do the research yourself. So if you go and you do your research, but you're still trusting in the methods of control, you're still trusting religion. And religion, actually, they should be telling you that the Earth is flat because that's how they had it originally. And if you go to government sources and or like very big corporate multinational or mainstream media journalistic sources, and they're all telling you that flat Earth is fake, then you're already in their control, so you're not going to really care. But it's going to be people like you that already distrust and know that they lie that are going to start researching into it whenever the time is right for you guys. And then you're going to realize, okay, let's do it the scientific way. Let's listen to these scientists, debunk it. Let's look at the media, all the videos that portray it. It took PBS, and it's like, all right, I noticed 2 seconds of it was reused footage, and they just edited it in and out the helicopter.
Eben, it's also hard. It's hard to trust scientists because the scientists are the ones who told us, that about 9/11. So yeah, I mean, what was it? NIST report, completely full of shit. And these are a bunch of scientists telling us this is how it happens. Yeah. Mm. So it's hard to even trust anyone with a degree.
Yeah. So a lot of it is you have to just use your own thinking. And a lot of the way to do it is to use what the scientific method. The actual scientific method will lead you to the truth. But then it's the same thing as government. When the government tells you, oh, this is what happened, here's the official story, and they go, give us the details. Let us have reveal it to, like, let the public access it. They go, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to submit a FOIA request. FOIA request? You just told us what happened, so just let us know all the details. They go, sorry, you're gonna have to submit a FOIA request. And then you submit a FOIA request, and it's redacted of everything. It's like, this doesn't even tell us anything. And then 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, oh, here's more of it revealed. It's like, this still doesn't tell us anything. Why'd you even decide to reveal it?
And it's a lot of money to file those Pfizer reports, to get those Pfizer reports too.
Yeah. And then, oh, go ahead.
And also, you guys should check out this guy on YouTube called the Fullerton Report. He be discussing about vaccines, what they do to you and don't give them to you. Yeah. SPF, you shouldn't be using that, and sunglasses with SPF. And he go into space stuff, and he talked about that 5G, because he was in somewhere live in California where they were going to put 5G on their property. Mm-hmm. And they were protesting against it. Because I don't know what that 5G does, but it's something that's not good.
Yeah.
And
here's the test.
From my understanding, it's pretty much, just, a higher power microwave. I mean, there are people that are moving to this. There's a place in West Virginia where there's no wireless. There's no any of that because it's like close to some kind of satellite base or I don't know. But I heard that a lot of families were moving there just to get away from these microwaves.
Yeah. Here's the test. It's just, remember the guy, Patrick Moore? He got in an interview, and the interviewer said, hey, I've got a cup of Roundup. You said it's safe to drink. Can you demonstrate by drinking it? And the guy says, yeah, it's safe. But no, I'm not going to drink it. Are you out of your mind? Remember? It's like, give him a glass of water with fluoride in it. Give him a glass of water. Give him a flu shot, just like the Oscars or the Grammys, whatever. And look at all the ones who aren't taking vaccinating their kids in like in Hollywood and stuff like that, Greater LA, all the celebrities. It's like they're not taking it, and they're the elite. They understand why they're not. They don't. I mean, they probably have the cleanest water. They're not drinking the fluoride tap water.
Their logic behind the vaccinations doesn't even make sense because if you think about it, you're like, all right, I'm going to opt out. I'm not going to get vaccinated. You guys all get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's going to get sick, right?
Yeah.
So what's the fucking problem? I'll be sick. You guys are fine. You got vaccinated. Like what?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the test is easy. If it's so safe, you guys take it. But they don't ever take it. They go, look, it's safe. Scientists say it. Government says it. Blah blah blah. And if you think it's otherwise, then you're the crazy one. And then you go into more details. It's like, did you take a flu shot? No, I haven't taken a flu shot yet. It's like, have you gotten vaccinated? Oh, yeah, I'm up to date on vaccinations. You probably didn't have any vaccinations if you look. And they go like, do you drink the tap water? Here's a glass of tap water. Oh no, may I get some Evian or something like that? They won't ever take the same shit.
Even Bill Maher, who's a complete douchebag, even said vaccines are fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Bill Maher's a pussy.
And I will not take that shingles shot either. Because where did that come from? Because my grandmother told me my husband got chicken pox when he was older. And she was like, please watch it with shingles because he could die from it. And I'm like, okay. And then they got a shingle shot all of a sudden. They do commercials about it. And my mom, she had it, and she's like, you better get your shingle shot. I said, I'm not getting that. I don't know what's in that crap.
Yeah, I knew a man with shingles, and it was very painful. That just a horrible condition.
Yeah.
And one time I was working at a law firm. The lawyer I was working for, he said he came back in from work from the doctors and said, "Man, I was diagnosed with shingles." And I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here? That's contagious." He said, "Well, my doctor said it's not contagious." I said, "Well, you need to change your doctor because that's contagious."
Yeah, here's another conspiracy theory that I have, since we're kind of on the vaccinations thing. A lot of only I think it's mostly black people, but they have sickle cell disease. I think sickle cell disease, if we get into the conspiracy theory that black people were infected with the sickle cell disease and it kept going, I think it's going to be a similar thing with the vaccinations. They're trying to get
absolutely. I mean, come on, look what they did with the Tuskegee Airmen. I mean, they injected them with syphilis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a trait of it when I was little, but I don't have it now.
You got to be kidding me! Yeah, I'm gonna get injected by you? Get the fuck out of here! no, trust me this time. This time is real.
What were you saying, Ebon? You were saying like.
Oh no, I'm just saying that I haven't done more research into that their sickle cell disease didn't occur naturally. That it was probably injected into a population so that they never have enough strength to actually do an actual revolt or anything. Because I mean, if you disease a population that's strong and they've been like a slave, you have a slave race or something, you inject them, keep them weak enough where they can work the fields all day, but never enough strength to hold a military population that'll take over because they're just sick. So
Hitler do something similar in the country?
Yeah, they do that stuff to wipe black folks out so they have to pay for reparations. That's what they're trying to do.
That's another one. So there's motive, but
I feel the only way out of this is a physical confrontation. I don't think voting is going to get us anywhere. I don't think putting new people in there, all these hopes and dreams that we're sold every day, it's not going to happen. I really think the only way out of this, if you really truly want your Constitution and your freedom back, you have to do it physically. You have to go, and I'm not advocating violence, but I'm just saying this is the only fucking way.
Yeah, well, it's not violence because the violence is done to the people. They're
killing millions of people to make billions. I said they kill millions to make billions.
They're poisoning, they're killing, yet they're not the violent ones. They are the violent ones.
This is what I'm talking about. Everybody gets hyped about the elections. Oh, this new person. Oh, this is the one. Oh, I remember when Cortez first showed up on the scene. And people were so excited. The Green Party, the progressives. Ooh, she's our hero. She ain't shit. She ain't going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of them. Come on. The only way out of this is to physically take it back. That's it.
It's the same way all free countries started. It's through revolution. There's been no country that was ever free that became free by being polite and asking their rulers, saying, "Hey, can we please be free?" Never, not once. Yet people expect it to be that way.
Yeah, and I'm kind of that way. I am. I'm like, guys, can I please have my freedom? What are you doing?
How's that working out for you, Nash?
Yeah, I don't want to punch anyone. Can you just leave me alone? I want.
They won't
What do you
leave
mean
you
I gotta
alone.
pay property taxes? What is this property taxes crap? Oh, you don't like schools?
You'll leave them alone. They just won't leave you alone. So it's just how much of leave me alone don't you get until the dam breaks, really. It's like they tell you almost every downturn economy, oh, you just gotta like manage your money better, work a little bit more, work harder, go back to school, get in debt. They tell you all the stuff that you need to do. But when you tell them, hey, it's been like that forever and it ain't working out, and they go, well, that's your problem. That's what they say to you. So when is it that you're going to shape up and say, hey, you know what? It's not our problem. You're the problem. We're not the problem. But people won't do it. They're too scared, or they got something nice and cushy for a while. I mean, tell that to the people who grew up in the 50s through the 80s, where they worked their jobs for 30 years. You ain't seen anybody working the same job 30 years in this economy.
Nope. And my thing is
just politicians. They seem to keep their jobs 30 years.
That's true.
And my thing is the Democrats want to keep saying it's the Republicans. No, it's not. It's you too. Both parties are one of the same. We don't have two parties no more.
Yeah.
We never have. That's part of the awakening. That there is no two-party system.
Well, back in the day, a lot of Democrats were Republicans because Republicans did have compassion, and they the ones that ended slavery. And then they had everyone move over to the Democrats. See, but this is what we're going to do for you. But for decades, they haven't done shit.
Yeah, they've switched a lot. They've switched a lot.
Wait. Did you say the Democrats ended slavery?
No, I said the Republicans.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. But the parties have switched in ideologies quite frequently throughout history.
Yeah, but they one party. There's no two parties anymore.
No. I mean, you look at Nancy Pelosi's husband, and the sweet business deals they get, or like I mentioned before, Mitch McConnell's wife. And I mean, there's so much more. If you dig, you'll see. I told you guys about a senator that I knew that went to prison, and her husband got fucking the sweetest deals, kush. It's like it's who you know. You're just like you're in the club.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you could have zero experience, and you'll be a CEO. Actually, let's put Biden in charge of the oil in fucking Ukraine.
Yeah.
Never had a job in his life, but he knows how to run an oil company.
Plus, they already get the pension. All they have to do is serve in Congress once. They get a nice, cushy pension for the rest of their life. And I mean, any of us could retire with a pension like that. A congressional pension is like, I'm fine. I'm done. I don't need millions of dollars a year in a private corporation. But they get those private corporation money once they leave office.
And McConnell didn't make money till he married that Asian woman.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like we are living in a simulation, and a lot of the people that we know and love and stuff are like NPCs and whatever, or everyone's just kind of brainwashed at a certain point, and you have to awaken like multiple times and then until you face the truth. But there's just so little people out there. I mean, you have again, like all of us, not one person in the family, in your family, will think the same way as you. But we're all related.
Yeah.
The family members that we have are more closely related to us than anyone else in the world. So the natural thought process would be that they would hold the same thoughts as us in most ways, right? It's never the case. Isn't that an oddity?
Nope. Yeah, I know what you're saying, 'cause I live it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, Shirley. I try, I talk with the family. I mean, I'm old, I'm up there with you, and I try to talk to my parents. They're like, they get it, but they go right back.
Yeah,
like,
my husband get it at one time.
Like, yeah, I get it. Okay, and go right back.
Yeah. So,
yeah, because I think my husband get it at one time, and then he changed back. I'm like, shit. It's crazy.
yeah. So that's why I just
Trump
think
is a liar. He says he's that. I'm like, y'all gotta stop letting him get you triggered.
Like my brother, I would love him on the same side as me, going down this research and everything, because he's smart, he's intelligent, but he's like everyone else. He's entrenched into this system. There's no way I can snap him or anyone else out of it.
It's really weird. I have a great friend. I'll give you an example. I have two great friends that I grew up with. I know my whole life. One of them is a fireman in San Francisco. One of them is a male nurse. But so I could go up to either one of them, and I asked my friend Todd, who lives in San Francisco, who's a fireman. I'm like, dude, 9/11, what do you think? And he's like, inside job all the way. Of course. And then I talked to my friend Gary, who's like, no fucking way is that an inside job. Too many people would have to be involved and it would leak out. No way. So it's full spectrum.
Dude, so Nash, scary coincidence. I have two very close, great friends from childhood too. One is the exact same way, and the other is the exact same way as your other friend. No way.
So yeah, similar experience, right? You experience the same thing. We have friends, we have family, we have who are total opposites. Yeah. And not only that, they'll like fight tooth and nail to defend the case. They'll be like, no fucking way, or hell yeah, that was an inside job. Yeah. Like totally.
I mean, that's why I just sometimes when I think of the Matrix simulation thing, it just seems like it's just eerie. It's like it could be. It's just eerie. There's no way we would really know, but it just. I mean, anyone I talk to who's just kind of in the same state that either I'm going down a rabbit hole into flat Earth, or where I was, where you guys are, you just don't want to go there yet because it's crazy. It's the same thing. Family members, most closely related to, friends you grew up with. Some might be in the same boat. Some totally opposites. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like no matter how many times you tell them, it's like, dude, you've known me for however many years. You know what my thoughts are, the way I think, the way I watch things, the way I study, the way I don't believe in certain things is like, or anything really. I don't entail belief in any part of my system. It's like, so when did I start being crazy and start believing things? And I'm still saying never, right? You got to go down and research your own. And if you think, government, religion, money is not there to control you, it's a good thing, then I'm sorry you're going to be stuck. But I'm telling you, someone that you should know intimately, it's there to control you. It's not real. Everything's been a lie.
Flat Earth is not my thing, man. I leave that to other people. That's fine, wonderful. And more power to you. I'm concerned about so many other issues. I don't even give a fuck if the Earth is flat. So what? I believe in God anyway. So what does it matter?
It's the game changer. If I went to the magnetic North Pole and I took pictures and videos of there, and I went all the way up there and took videos, photos. I brought like things back. It's like.
What game does it change? What difference does it make if the Earth is flat?
Because everything has been a lie. Everyone, government, every institution, everyone for all these hundreds of years have been lying.
But we already know that. They lie. If the Earth is round, they're still a bunch of fucking lying pieces of shit. It doesn't matter. I just still don't understand.
It'd just be the biggest cover-up of all time that's finally revealed to everybody.
Well, it's a big one, yeah. Like, landing on the moon and this and that. I mean, 9/11,
Yep.
JFK, Pearl Harbor, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
go through history.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking lie about everything.
Yeah. The thing,
Ebon, I think to find out if we are living in the Matrix, you need to find the gatekeeper and the keymaster.
Yeah.
Oh my Ghostbusters.
All right. So here's the thing is eventually a lie is going to be found out about. Yeah. Anyone who's told a lie, it comes out that it was a lie. Any lie, every lie throughout history, it's going to be the same way. Eventually someone's going to find out the truth. And when that truth comes out, everything falls. The house of cards falls down. And that's the game changer. Yeah. That's when things change.
But Evan,
I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime.
Well, it's got to start in someone's lifetime.
Nash, you were going to say something. Go ahead. You were going to ask Ebon about something?
The bigger the lie, the more they believe it. Americans don't believe anything until they see it on television. Some people like the lie. This is really twisted.
Oh yeah.
Some people do not want to wake up. They want the lie.
Yeah. Look, that's why I did my video. That was before this on my favorite genre of all time, science fiction. And it's space science fiction, nonetheless. I watch X-Files. I want to believe. Like, I like it. It's easier if I could swallow the blue pill and just kind of get back into Matrix and let me do my thing, play video games all day, watch sports, and, think everybody in life is having it easy. But that's not the case.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a crazy thing.
Well, I just wanted to come on here and talk about the
Ben.
Hi, Ben. How's it going? Go ahead. What was that?
Like Socialists of America or something? No, I'm just joking.
Feel free to talk, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Is that Ben?
Yeah,
it's Ben.
Ben's on.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, Ben.
When did you come in? Ben OG from Tahoe? Is that Ben?
Just now.
Ben Tahoe OG, not Ben OG from Tahoe, Nash. Come on.
Oh, hey, leave it to me to fucking ruin a good party.
Smoke some sometime. Smoke some Tahoe OG sometime. Tell me what you think.
Hey guys, I'm getting ready to go.
Much love, brother, man. Good to hear.
Good night, Shirley.
We love you. You take care. It was good hearing from you.
Yeah.
Same here.
I'll try to host these more often.
Shirley.
And if you guys want like a night where to host it, like I don't have to be on, just let me know and I'll start it for you guys. It's been going on for 3 hours, so I kind of want to shut it down so I can get some sleep. It's 3 o'clock here.
It's 4 o'clock here.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock.
Ben, I know you came in late. Is there something that you want to get off your chest before we sign off?
Nothing I need to say.
Okay. Well, welcome. Even though it's only for a few minutes.
24 hours. 24 hours marathon. Let's go.
Hey, we'll do a 24-hour live stream during how about the presidential election 2020? How about that?
With your pink hat on.
Oh, you'll be wearing the pink hat, Nash.
No,
I'll be wearing a MAGA hat. Or Keep America Great hat. I haven't decided which one.
I can't wait to see you, dude. You're gonna look adorable.
All right, see you guys. Thanks everybody who's on chat. I do watch the chat too if I don't reply. And thank you guys for coming on. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you for hosting us again. I greatly appreciate it. It's always good to see you guys.
Same
same
here.
here.
Good seeing you all.
Love you all. You have yourself a wonderful night now.
You too.
Take care, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Much love. Much love.